What music do you like? I am not interested in those concepts. No, interesan. Esos estilos maravillosos. And we are live as you listen to me do my Duolingo for the evening, which I'm not going to be able to finish.
Well, you can always pick it up later.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
Right now, it wants to know if I like the park or something. If I like going to the park. And that's one of the things we were going to talk about. Anyway, tonight was our re-entry into Spanish lessons. Oh my goodness.
Give me a. There we go.
Okay. Let me get
God love it. We have remotes.
I know. I should probably put my phone on mute.
Mine is.
I need to. Let me just get my stuff together here. Let me move the mouse in front of me so I can reach it and put dinner to the side. Yeah, this is what it's like on podcast nights. Got to take the dog for a walk. Got to get ready for the podcast, set everything up, eat dinner. It gets a little hectic sometimes. So hello, hola, bienvenidos a Gringos R Us. Anything you want to add?
Nope, that pretty much covers it right there.
That was it. So, hey, Arlene, wait a minute. Hello, hola. Is that a different login?
Maybe she's changed it.
I guess. It throws me off. Oh, gosh, new opportunities.
Yeah, goodbye.
We could talk about that, too. And Annie Vet, hola. We're so glad you're here, Arlene. I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, nothing worse.
Heard you were not feeling well. So, Cindy, nice to have you here tonight.
The Kawa.
the Kawa. That is your new name, Cindy, just so you know. You are the Kawa.
Yep.
I don't know if we actually told her that.
Well,
you know now.
Yeah.
You have your own name. Jesse, how you doing? Hey there. Lambden. Nice to see you here too. Oh, and Kathy. Saludos. San Juan Cosola. All right. We've been there. Yeah.
We have?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm pretty confident that is where Craig and KJ actually were living, in that house, that really nice house. I'm pretty sure that's where it was, or it was very close to it. So, she changed her name. All right.
Protect the innocent.
And feeling better. Yay. And there goes the first light, tumbling down. I guess we have to close that door, huh? We're trying a new location tonight because, well, you know how it is. Oh, hey, honey, that purple light back here should probably come more this way because you can see it. He's getting we have mood lighting. I'm the purple one. He is the green one. Everything okay there?
Yeah, I was just trying to. I feel like
try not to step on the dog.
I feel like I'm trying to get into the cockpit of a jet.
I know. Oh, Max. Max has been very high strung today. Today was a very noisy day. I had to shut my windows and my door when I was working because he was so incredibly loud. And that's not typical. It's like he's today.
No, normally he's been getting better with Angelica, who
Yeah.
comes to clean the house once a week, and he sort of went off the chain at the beginning, and then
And he chilled out. Could you hand me a coaster, please? So I don't watermark up this wooden table. Thank you. Okay. Papa. Hey, Jeff. What's up? Jeff and Sherry. And Laura Travels. Hola. Bienvenidos. Oh my gosh, Chris Gross. I don't think we've seen you in a while.
that's what she just said.
Wow. Pretty cool. And I had a doc come to my house. He gave me 6 meds and a total of $139 only here in Mexico. Oh, is it the same one that you can call for emergency visits? Because I just think that's amazing.
$139, and you won't even get in the front door if you can get an appointment.
I know they used this guy before, if it's the same one, and we have his contact info too. I mean, he will come to your house. If he has to hang IVs, he'll give you IVs. I mean, I think that's the coolest thing. If you are like deathly ill and down in bed and you need a little bit of something, that's the way to do it, for sure. Sherry says, awesome hair. Thank you. It's already starting to lighten up and fade a little bit though, but that's okay. I'll just put more purple in this piece right here, and we'll be back to normal again. Although I did finally book an appointment with somebody more local to where we are now living. And I haven't been to this place before, but the number of good reviews that they get on Facebook and on Google, I'm confident that it's going to be a nice place. They seem to do really good cuts, and they do really, really, really good and very fun color. So if I ever decide that I want somebody to professionally color my hair, I bet this place is the place to go. I mean, they had somebody who had jet black hair, and they did an
In Mexico? Jet black hair? No.
Well, hold on, I'm not done yet. Some people have brown hair. Shh, hush. And you get to certain parts of Mexico and you've got blondes.
Well,
so,
yeah, but the overwhelming majority.
So this person had black hair, and they had some color lifted in the lower section. Like if you lift up all this hair in the back, and then they have that whole extra section that's still hanging, they had color lifted, and they literally had the rainbow. And then when you drop that top layer back down, of course, the rainbow's peeking out underneath. It was really cool looking. So usually those colors are so pretty and so bright, though, for about the first 2 weeks. And then, it's just, it is the same doc. Very good. Yeah, he's definitely on our short list if we ever need him. So Sherry has found her a great mani-pedi shop. You need one of those. Mark gets the mani-pedi because Mark has he has talons. He's got raptor talons.
They grow quick.
They grow quick, and they're very thick. He can use his nails like tools, like screwdrivers and stuff. And his toenails are really, really hard toenails. Hard to cut.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to file.
Yeah, the first time I got a mani-pedi down here, they put some tiny little girl down there to try and cut my toenails, and she was fine on the pinky and the next one. And by the time she got the big toe, she was like, she couldn't do it. No. And they had to send somebody over who had a little more girth, and she was like,
I wore my special shirt tonight so you guys could see it and just laugh a little. Gen X, we don't care. I'm gonna move this for a minute.
It ain't just
Gen X. There you go. We don't care. They had a few really cool ones, and one of them had comments like raised on hose water, and neglect, or something like that. And yeah, one other one said, our parents still don't know where we are.
Well, I remember we used to play baseball down at the bottom of the street, and
Yep.
we'd drink out of the creek because
Yeah.
it was
I mean,
quicker
like,
than heading all the way back up to the house and up the hill.
or how
So
about you just basically stayed out all day until the lights came on? That's all you had to do. Nobody knew where the hell you were.
nobody, I'm not going to say nobody cared, but it was like,
Like they didn't know where you were. They were just like, be home for supper or
Mhm.
whatever when the lights come on. But oh yes, they had some really fun ones. Oh, hola, Khalid.
hola.
Welcome, bienvenidos. So is Maxwell coming to Mextranjero? Unless we find a trustworthy border, Chewy and Queso will be there.
Well, I would check with Mr. Know-It-All and everything that's he can, because KJ and Craig got a dog, and
yeah, that's true. They may have a friend take it though for them.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Maxwell would not be coming. We're actually going to be test driving a daycare / overnight border place that Annie and Arlene take their babies to. And I just actually contacted them today and have to fill out the application. But it's, I'm going to say it, and their babies are going to go nuts. Club dog. Club dog. So we're going to try them out. We're going to be boarding, and they have daycare. So we thought that was a really smart idea that was suggested that we take him there.
There's Annie Bet's idea.
Yeah, for daycare, because then that way he will get adjusted to being at the place and away from us and being around other dogs, other people, etc. I think it's a great idea. It's not that expensive for a daycare. It's 180 pesos per day. And I believe they said we can have a trial 3-hour daycare at no cost. So we're going to give it a shot. Maybe go out to get something to eat in Querétaro somewhere. Maybe we'll go get some dumplings from Eunice.
Knowing Max, they may be calling us going, come pick him up.
No, don't say that.
Don't
say that. He's not that bad. He's just, he's a puppy.
I know. He's just high energy.
And he's a whole lot better than he was.
Mm-hmm.
But he was on my last damn nerve today with the noise.
Until he figured out what he could do with the roll of toilet paper.
Twice. 2 rolls of toilet paper. The thing is we have these big, heavy wooden doors, except that they don't lock, except from the inside. So we can't lock them on the outside. And he knows that he can just push them open. And so he goes in and he steals things out of our bedroom, like Mark's slippers, for example, or whatnot.
Anything that he can get.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter. If it's something of ours, he's like, okay.
Something of yours, mostly. And so he, the other day, Mark laid down for a nap and had Maxwell in bed with him. Because Mark does this old man thing every afternoon.
Well, I read and I take about a 30-minute nap. I mean,
And so he had Max in there with him, and the door was open. When I came downstairs from working, there was shredded toilet paper and a shredded shower puff all over the living room floor.
Yep.
Yeah. And then he did it again a couple days later. Got another roll of toilet paper.
Yep.
Twice in the same day. Because you had to clean up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're pulling the bathroom door shut and the bedroom door shut. But again.
And neither one of them works in the right direction to stop him.
No, he just jumps up, pushes
because
it open.
they both open in.
Yep.
If one of them opened out, we could just shut one and then we'd be fine. But no, they both open in. And so he just has learned that he is just tall enough that if he puts his paws all the way up and just leans, that it eventually will go. And then he's, let me go get my stuff.
He also likes the garbage can in the bathroom where you put your toilet paper. So the little garbage can up in the office sits on top of the back of the toilet, so he can't get to it. Yep. The rest of them all have lids on them. But one day he's going to figure that out too. It won't take long. He's smart. And yes, I love this shirt. But I'll tell you, I'm really tempted to get the ones about the hose water, neglect, and our parents don't know where we are. And yeah, I think it's kind of fun. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? You know, the funny thing is that they had to run that because that was a real thing.
Not in my household.
Well, I'm just saying.
I know.
A lot of kids would be out. I mean, it's not like today, if your kids are out at 10 o'clock, they're usually in some kind of trouble. They're out doing something they shouldn't be doing. But I remember when I was a kid, man, you were just out. You were out till the damn lights came on. And if it was summertime and you live up in, the Northeast or just the northern area of the United States, it was daylight until like 9:30.
Further north you went, the longer you had daylight during the summer.
Yeah, so it was like 9:30 at night technically, and we were just.
And the street lights are just now starting to come on.
We're just making our way home. So that is so fair. Does daycare mandate rabies shots? Yes, they do. They actually sent me a list of things. I can tell you in case you're interested, because I don't know if all daycares are created equally, but I can tell you what they told me.
Well,
I mean,
I know that's all we have to go by.
I might as well share it. So he needs to have. He needs to have the 5-in-1 vaccine. I don't know what that means, but he's probably had it. Rabies, Giardia, and Bordetella, and he has to have been dewormed. So yes.
Yeah, I think he gets his last rabies shot next week. So
he does. And then we're going to talk about snip.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the last week or so, he has proceeded to try to hump me in bed. And he likes to get up and try to hump my arm while I'm working. Now, I'm in an office chair that has little arm rest, and I'm running a mouse with one hand, and he is putting his paws on the chair and then wrapping them around my arm and then proceeding to do his little gyrations while I'm trying to work. And the mouse is doing this because I can't work because my arm is getting shaken all over the place. Now, he's not really, things aren't sticking out. He's just going through the motions. But the point is it's becoming more frequent. And twice now, he has gone into the kitchen within the last 2 weeks without regard to the fact that he's got an open door to go in and out as he pleases to go to the bathroom. And he's gone into the kitchen twice now and has hiked his leg up on 2 different kitchen window blinds and peed on them. And there's no real reason for that to be happening unless he's starting to mark.
Well, I think both days.
We don't need that.
I think both days he was also in the doghouse, so to speak, and he was
not the second day. The first day, yes.
Yeah, I mean,
the first day was that crazy day.
I know,
but not the second day. There was no excuse for it. So he's starting to do his thing. And our vet was really kind of like, well, we really don't like to do it until like the first year. I'm sorry.
Ain't gonna last a year.
As soon as he gets this last vaccine, I'm going to press to have this done because we have had, our last schnauzer was fixed before we even brought him home.
And he was tiny.
I don't think he was 9 or 10 weeks old and he was already neutered. So I don't think that, I think that's too young really for them, but I'm all down with getting it done before they're a year old for sure. He's all tuckered out now because he burned all his energy just going nuts today. His walk was really good though. He did a very good walk. Sam's Club is nearby. Did I miss?
Okay, I know where it's at.
Did I miss something?
Well, I think she's telling us where the doggy club is.
Oh, okay. I saw it on the map, so I do have it. I haven't had a chance to look at the contract or application yet. So, But I think maybe we'll take advantage of that trial daycare and just go get some dumplings or something in Centro. Maybe we'll go to that park we've never been to yet.
The one where the tree fell down?
Yeah, basically. The biggest park in Querétaro had a really big old tree fall down and take out part of the fence.
And block traffic.
And block traffic because it reached all the way across the road. This tree was huge. So interesting. Hey, Mark and Paulette.
Hola.
Hi. And sounds like the dog is doing the wango tango. You know, he's a puppy, but he's getting horny or something. His little hormones are starting to build up in him, and it's time.
Put you in a stranglehold, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on up. That's the best part of that song. That is the best part of that song. I love it. Watching from someone near Oro de Agua, Tecamac. Welcome, James.
Bienvenidos.
And Sheila. Sorry,
Hey, Sheila.
I'm like Sherry. I got Jeff and Sherry on the brain right now. Be aware that snipping before 1 year correlates with cancer increase. Wish I had waited for mine. Well, his biggest issue, being the breed that he is pancreatitis. And we actually had a dog that did end up getting that, but he also lived to be almost 19 years old. He was 18 plus. So that's a long time for any dog, including a Schnauzer. So he lasted really well, and we take good care of him. But he was definitely neutered before we got him. He wasn't even 3 months old yet. And I'm okay with waiting a little bit. It's also really good to wait at least a year if they are a larger breed dog, because it's good for their joint and their bone development.
Yeah, she has corgis.
Right.
Little doggies.
Right.
They're smaller than Max.
I cannot take the risk of him starting the Mark shit around the house. Sorry. And I can't work. I get up in the morning. It really is that bad. I get up. First of all, he wants to do it in bed at night, and I have to keep pushing him off of me and telling him no. And then finally he'll pass out. And that's good. We're good until morning. Then the morning, he sleeps through the night now without getting up and having to go to the bathroom, which is awesome. He lets me go to the bathroom as soon as I get up in the morning now, which is awesome. Then we come out of the bedroom. He goes outside. I get his breakfast. I grab a couple of biscuits and a greenie treat for him. And I get my breakfast sandwich. And we head up to my office. Now, that will be about 6 a.m. when I start working. But he doesn't get up for another hour to 2 hours. I think you're usually up by 7:30-ish.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's at least 90 minutes that I've got this dog up there that I'm trying to keep entertained while I'm trying to work. And I'm like, I cannot use my arm. Like, I can't move a mouse. I can't type because he's like grabbing my arm. Yeah. Like my arm became his de facto girlfriend.
Not gonna say a word.
Maybe I should put lipstick on my arm.
I wouldn't. Don't dress it up, because then he might really get excited.
Would you suggest dual citizenship? I'm married to a Mexican citizen, and I'm planning on retiring there. Well, I think that you're in a unique situation that because of your marriage, you can certainly get citizenship that way and not have to wait the standard 5 years. And I don't believe you even have to take the exam, because you're going to do it through through family. So I don't see the harm in doing it.
No, I there's a lot of benefits in doing it.
Because
number one being that if you decide you want to travel any place else in the world, the Mexican passport is a lot better to travel on than a U.S. passport in a lot of countries, because a lot of places the U.S. right now is not looked upon in good light.
It's one of the reasons I was trying to get my Italian citizenship. I was really hoping I could get the Italian passport. And that is one of the reasons, because if you do travel internationally, Sometimes the U.S. passport is not looked upon kindly. So there's that. Aside from that, there's benefits, of course. If you are here and I don't know all the details and if they've been ironed out yet, but there's a push to try to have universal health care. And of course, if you're a citizen, you're going to have that without a doubt. The question is, will legal residents have it? I don't know. I don't know about that. And then there's other things about citizenship. You could vote. Anytime you want to get credit or something, I know I have tried to get credit through something as simple as a department store, and they want an INE card. Well, of course, I don't have that because I'm not a citizen. So they wouldn't take a CURP, and they wouldn't take an RFC, RFC. They wouldn't take those. They wanted the INE. So you would have that too. If you get your citizenship, then you will have your INE, and then you can have a Mexican passport and get the whole package deal put together. And I'm sure that there are probably other benefits. One of the things we ran into today is we're getting our car legalized in Mexico. And until recently, you could do that as a resident. And our guy today was running into problems, and they had to come back to us after we've already paid for the service and ask us if we know anybody who has an INE that would help us with this. They need an INE. I'm like, oh, really? So having that INE is going to definitely benefit you. And of course, if your husband probably already has that, but it'd be nice if you had it too. Why not? Right? So I don't think there's a problem. You can have dual citizenship. I think the only problem is potentially the taxes you will have to pay. And if you are getting Social Security through the United States, at least now, you're not supposed to have to pay Mexican taxes on your Social Security.
I think that's still true, even if you're a dual citizen.
No, I know. That's just it, though. Who knows if the rules will change?
Wow.
I've heard rumblings. I don't know that they're true. And you can't always believe what you hear other people say on Facebook or something. So,
and we can't live our lives doing the what if.
No.
I mean, there's a lot of benefits, as far as trying to do things here in Mexico, whereas
the credit cards,
right, all of that
stuff with the car
that we've run into the issues of sometimes it's, well, you have to have this, and there's other times it's sort of well, we really don't want to deal with you if you don't have one. It's not a requirement. It's more of a attitude, especially the banks. The banks really don't.
The banks. Yeah, we run into a lot of problems working with banks. Yes, people here without citizenship do get bank accounts. I'm not saying they don't. But a
lot of hoops.
It can be a lot of paperwork, a lot of hoops to jump through, multiple appointments, redoing applications. It's a hassle. And if you were just a regular citizen and you walked in, it's a whole lot easier for you. So I don't see the downside. The only thing I've ever heard somebody say as a cautionary warning, and this came from Ernie Baca, who has been putting out videos as Retired Life in Mexico, No Bull. He was considering Mexican citizenship, and he was married to a Mexican citizen. But one of the things that was holding him back was, number one, having to take the examination as a foreign resident. You would have to take the citizenship examination if you were under the age of 60. And at the time he was. And he didn't really want to do that. It's supposed to be a difficult test. And so the other downside that he said during one of his podcasts was that if you got in trouble legally in Mexico, if you are a resident, it's handled through the U.S. Embassy. But as soon as you are a U.S. citizen and a Mexican citizen, it's being handled through Mexican legal procedures because you're a Mexican citizen. Now, That's if you did something that you could be worried about. And if you're not out there breaking the law, I don't think that's a problem. you know. But regarding his first concern about the exam, and I'm assuming that you're going to be over 60 if you're retired. So I took probably the equivalent of 10 of the Mexican citizenship practice exams, having not known anything about Mexican government and systems and history, nothing. Geography, none of it. After being here for almost 4 years and traveling as much as we did, I got at least a 70% every time I took the test, except one time I got 60%. Now, in the United States, a 70% is a passing score for U.S. citizenship. In Mexico, you need an 80%. But my point is, I don't know why this exam is supposed to be so incredibly difficult.
And they may have changed it.
Maybe they changed it. I don't know. I just feel very lucky that we traveled as much as we did because we learned a lot along the way. And a lot of that stuff was on that exam. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, we both like history and we have traveled through, when you hit, San Miguel de Allende, Atotonilco, Dolores Hidalgo, and Puebla, there's a whole lot of history right there. So that's a great, that gave us a great opportunity to get to learn a lot of the Mexican history right there. And geography, well, I think we've driven in at least 2/3, if not 3/4 of the state so far. So, that's definitely a plus there as well.
I need to ask though, guys, check this out. This is how he looks at us. Let me just hide this for 1 minute because he's like, I don't want to sit up straight. Looky here. What? Now, look at this. Sometimes he sits and he looks at us and his ears are out like this.
It's Yoda.
It's Yoda. Should we have called him Yoda instead of Max? Instead of Maxwell. Little Yoda. Yeah, we're talking about you. Mine was diagnosed with lymphomas at 3 years old.
Ow.
Oh, honey, that's bad. That's bad. But part of me wonders, though, if it was just written in the DNA on that one, maybe. I know Bandit had a he had the lipid one, not the lymphoma. And that grew, and we had to have that removed.
Yeah.
But that happens pretty commonly. So I'm sorry that happened. No. Hey, Tommy. Don't fall off your chairs, but no wine or beer. Oh, no. No wine or beer for Tommy tonight.
Huh?
That's what he said.
I know, but
All right. Humping with dogs, it's not sexual, it's a dominance thing. Well, yeah, maybe. But I mean, he's doing it more as his little jewels grow. His jewels are so big now that he waddles when he walks. So they're getting there. And the marking stuff can't do that. Oh, but with me, it's a different story.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Max is a mini schnauzer, correct?
Yep.
Yes. No correlation to cancer or joint issues with mini schnauzers. Snip should be okay. Yeah. Mini schnauzers are definitely prone to pancreatic issues for sure. And we definitely went through that with ours.
I mean,
he was very healthy for a very long time, longer than most dogs are.
He also got dementia. I mean, it literally was,
he had gone deaf.
He was deaf. Then he'd go outside, come back in, and 2 minutes later he'd be at the door going,
just sitting there,
let me out,
just sitting.
And
he wouldn't look, he wouldn't bark, he would just sit there at the door. Yeah, he was not living his best life.
No.
Would you suggest starting before I go there? Well, I don't know. We don't know how long the process takes for citizenship. I did join a Facebook group for dual citizens for Mexico. And I might suggest that group if you're not already a part of it. I'm going to look real quick and see if I can.
I think that number one, I would probably ask the consulate.
Well, like you would do it. You would start at the consulate.
I know, but they could tell you better.
That's true.
Because they'll give you an idea as to how long it would take and everything else, and that's all. Types of questions that we can't really answer, and they can very effectively.
I'm still looking now.
That's U.S.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
So I think that'd be the place that I would start with anyway.
I'm still looking.
I see that.
It's hard to reach this far. Maybe dual citizenship process, U.S. Mexico. And there's actually two groups. One group is public with 1.9 thousand members, and another one is public with 107,000 members. And
well, one is for people who have it, and the other is
not necessarily. I'm gonna look at this. Oh, I'm not logged in as. That would help a lot. I'm not logged in as Gringos. It sucks to have so many accounts and so many computers and having to bounce between accounts because they won't let you they used to let you just have multiple logins saved and you could just bounce between accounts. And now they make you literally log in every time you switch between accounts. I hate it.
I do too.
You're never on it.
That's because I don't have it.
All right. I am on the Mexican citizenship.
And it's the same thing we had.
No, it's not, because I'm going to see which ones I'm actually a member of.
Okay.
Dual citizenship, U.S. Mexico. That's the one that I'm a member of.
The one that's got the 108,000.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to put that link. I'm going to put that link in our chat area so you can actually click on it, I hope. And I'm also going to, I'll put it up here real quick in the captions so you can see it. But the thing is, dual, I can't see, U.S. Mex citizenship group. And then I would just look for the link in the chat because that'll be the easiest. If I put it like this, you're going to see it, but it's not going to be clickable. So, and of course you got this really long number. So I'll leave that there for a moment. So if anyone's interested in looking this up, that is a Facebook group. Did I spell citizenship right? It's hard when I'm stretching out like this.
Yeah.
But
of course I say that, and if it's wrong, somebody's going to be going, really, Mark? You can't spell?
It does have almost 108,000 members, and because it's a public group, I don't know how well it's being moderated. And sometimes what happens.
And it is Facebook.
It is Facebook, and so you get a lot of jerks. I can't say as of late that I remember anyone being significantly nasty on this group, but I don't go there all the time. I thought it would be a good idea to keep a pulse on it because we've been considering it maybe in our future. And that wouldn't be until next year or the year after that. because you have to be here for 5 years as a resident before you can even apply.
That
So-
will be next November.
Right. So not sure yet what we're going to do, but that is the Facebook group that I actually did join as Gringos R Us, just so I can keep a pulse on it. Da, da, da. Okay, back up. Backing it up. See, this is a good answer. Very good answer. We love it when you guys chime in. And so you can do residency through family unity all while inside Mexico. Yep. No need to start
Yep.
before coming. After 2 years of temp, you can convert to perm and then later citizenship. So the fact that she's married to a Mexican citizen doesn't change. I guess it doesn't change her ability to become a
I think
citizen.
it changes
The length of time.
the length of time
Yeah.
and the requirements as far as do you have to do the test? Do you have to do all the
Mhm.
other? I think that's one of those where no, you get in because
Right. Right.
and gee, how simple can that be? We had a friend in the U.S. that was married, and he was Canadian and was trying to get U.S. and oh my God.
Yeah. He jumped through hoops for what, 10 years?
Oh, over.
Stupid.
And
money.
and the amount of money he spent, it's like, come on. The U.S. definitely needs to streamline the
Oh, man,
immigration process. It's insane.
I worked at a hospital in Charlotte. We used to call our crew the UN because we had somebody there from Jamaica, Iran, Dominican Republic, somewhere else I can't think of right now. But the point is we had a lot of people from different places. The guy that was from a Dominican Republic, he was a doctor in the DR. And he's find himself working second and third shift in the laboratory because he couldn't get licensed in the US. It's expensive. Citizenship is expensive. And I remember it wasn't Ozzy. I'm trying to think of who it was. But one of our coworkers was a Muslim woman, and her family, it took them like 10 years to completely finish the process. That includes the amount of money that her parents spent on themselves and all of her siblings to come to the US, and then the process itself and how long it took. It was a long time, and it cost them a lot of money. And she used to get really angry about illegal immigrants because and people who would just get amnesty just like that. But her family had to pay so much money and wait as long as they did just to be able to come over. And I get it. Because it's expensive. U.S. citizenship is expensive.
It's insane. I mean,
yeah.
You think about, we went from deciding we were going to make the move, and originally it was going to be 18 months, and 6 months later we're in Mexico, and we're just like,
Mexico made it easy.
I mean,
and some may say that maybe Mexico made it too easy. I don't know, but I'm trying to turn off my phone, guys. It's doing the beeps. I forgot to do it until I turn it off. Okay. And I wanted to also keep to the script a little bit if I can. So I'm going to pull up the script. Oh, it's The Cure. I'm watching The Cure right now because I'm on Instagram. Okay. So we'll get through these, and then we'll just jump into some of the topics that we had brought up. You're going to do citizenship as soon as it's available. I'm seriously considering it, but we got to wait almost 2 years, a year and a half at least.
Yeah.
And for Mark, he doesn't have to sit and take the citizenship exam, because he's over the age of 60. He just has to do an interview. So I would have to wait probably a little bit. I don't know. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
let's see how things go with getting our driver's licenses and stuff like that. We're working on that.
All things to do this fall.
And you are welcome for the link there, Lisa. I hope it's helpful. And I hope you don't see any nasty people and get discouraged, because that's the thing I hate about Facebook so much. There's people, they have nothing else better to do than be miserable all over the place.
Yeah. I mean,
they spread their misery sauce everywhere.
they just, their whole belief is, I can't be happy, so why should anybody else? And it's like, I don't care if you're
Oh,
miserable.
jeez. Thank you, Papa. You're right. You're right. There is, look, one place.
I see it.
One place I forgot to swap out. So what Jeff is saying is we have expats with a plan on our logo. And initially, when we first started the channel, expats seemed to be the chic-y in-style word that everyone was using to describe an immigrant.
Well, and it had been for decades and decades and decades.
You know, I remember the first time I ever heard it, it was the British expats who were living in Florida. That was like in the 70s and 80s. That's when I first heard the word.
That's when you know the famous rock musicians who were from the British Isles were going.
They were all being tax exiles from England, and they were just moving.
I mean, I think Keith Richards didn't go to the U.S. I think he went to France, and
he did. Eventually, I think he went to Connecticut, though.
You know, but I mean, and the Bee Gees went. See ya, we're all going to Miami, and they headed to Miami.
But they all called themselves expats, and then we were like, okay, well, what does the word mean? And we looked it up, and it was like somebody who is living outside of their home country. Basically on a temporary basis without intent on staying permanently. Well, we had temporary residency cards, and we were like, okay, that's what we are. We're expats. But boy,
technically we still are, but
we didn't know at the time how much vitriol we might get from some people who really don't like that word. It's a trigger word for some people. So, because we are going to be getting our permanent residency,
and we are staying,
and we're like, we need to take that out. We're not going to say we're expats anymore. We swapped it out. We swapped it out everywhere, apparently, except for here.
And then, we got to do it there, and then
our cards,
and then the cards, and then we sort of you change the logo with that updated logo and everything.
Yeah.
And so, it's like, okay, time for rebranding a little bit anyway. So
it's time. But thank you for pointing that out, because it went right by me. I got my ex-husband his residency here in the U.S. Expensive, very much so. Yeah, very much. It's very expensive.
It's stupid.
And I remember the guy from the DR was telling me how much it cost for him to sit for medical licensing exam. And plus, he's also, English is his second language. Now, he spoke English very, very well. But you know as well as I do that when you're learning another language that is not your native language, technical language is a lot more difficult than layman's conversational language. So, when we go to the doctors, I go with them. And then if we have to, I've got the Google Translate out, because sometimes things don't translate well. If I had to work in IT, I couldn't do it.
No.
Not in another language. No. So I understand why he couldn't get his
And the thing is, okay, I can get 70-ish% of what's being said to me. But when you're dealing with medical stuff, that other 20% could have something important that's being conveyed there that you might want to know what's going on. So
every time I think about that, medical language differences, I think back to an episode of Law and Order, where a young girl got her parent or grandparent a prescription filled.
Her sister.
Somebody.
Sister.
Prescription got filled, and the prescription's in English, and it says once a day. Well, once in Spanish is once, which means 11. And she OD'd. The person taking the medicine OD'd because it was supposed to be once per day, not 11 times a day. And it could be something like that. Sometimes it's easy because like a drug like diclofenac is diclofenaco. And I can't even remember what lisinopril is. I think it's the same.
I think it is.
But
my methotrexate is
methotrexate.
Methotrexato.
Yeah, and those are at least close.
Metrotrexato.
Those are at least close. Sometimes you can find medications that are completely different names. And I tried to find an ENT for him, but ENT
ONG
is ONG here. So yeah, instead of ear, nose, throat.
Oído, nariz,
gluteal something.
No, it's
something.
Shit.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It's different. So, yeah. As a Mexican by birth, I agree with the laws because this way we prevent naturalized citizens from wanting to commit crimes and then flee or protect themselves with the laws of their birth. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
that's fair. And if you're a citizen here and you commit a crime here,
you're subject to the
exactly
Mexican.
So don't be breaking no laws. You may be a guest in the country who is allowed to stay permanently and become a citizen. Don't be breaking no laws. Don't break no laws before that either.
Well,
that would be bad.
Just common sense. I mean,
it is. Oh, James, you are so welcome. You are so welcome. There we go. Get my little thing open again so I don't get off the topic. We're getting close to getting to the topic. Worked in retail for 20 years, so nothing surprises me anymore. Oh, no. Oh, no. Tommy, another channel that I was watching, never saw them before, said that possibly the new medical care in Mexico would be for all citizens, possible residents too. Mexico is light years. Yeah, we've heard this too.
And I mean, President Sheinbaum did come out and say that was the plan for 2027. But it was a little light in the details of how this was going to be implemented. So it really sort of sounded like a campaign promise to go, hey, we're doing this for you. How? We're doing this for you. I mean,
yeah, we're waiting for the details. And if they have to roll it out, which to me, that's a logical progression that you would want to roll it out. You'd want to roll it out to your citizens first.
No,
Yeah, you want to test. Maybe you want to roll out to certain states, or you want to roll it out to just your citizens first. See how it goes before you try to extend it to non-citizens.
I mean, that's a lot of people that you're trying to encompass. Now, part of that also is you have the INSS system. So part of that is already in place.
Right.
So they have some of the parts are already here. So, is this nothing more than just expanding? If it is,
well, it would be. So the difference though is that I don't believe private hospitals would have to participate. So the question then is so now are you going to bring more pressure to the IMSS locations to have to make up the difference or whatever the case may be?
And that's, again, that's one of those where, when you have a two-tiered healthcare system, when you have, a single payer for everybody and people go, no, I want this level of care, not this level of care, not saying, because some of the best doctors in all of Mexico work at INSS. So it's one of those where you may have to wait for a long time, whereas going to the private hospital, it's it's out. So
the perfect example was his cousin's husband had a son from his first marriage that had to get tubes in his ears. And His cousin's husband was a English citizen, a UK citizen, and he had the national health care insurance. And he also had private insurance. And the national insurance was going to take weeks, if not months, to get his son in, to get the tubes in his ears. So he went with the private insurance so he could just get it done. So it's kind of the way it works. You can do the free way, or you can do the pay way.
Well, it's sort of like, you got the HOA lane over here that you can get in and zip down the highway, or you can sit in the free traffic and the traffic's going to be slower.
And as Arlene had said a couple lines above, and medicine here is definitely way more advanced as far as customer service and personalized care. And a lot of that has to totally do with the fact that you have eliminated insurance companies, and in a lot of cases for the doctors and their overhead, you've eliminated unnecessary staff. And a lot of that staff is there because why? Insurance claims.
Yep.
So you've eliminated insurance companies, insurance claims, a lot of middle management type people, and support staff that you don't really need.
Well,
when we go to the doctor, we see the doctor, we pay the doctor. We just pay them.
Yeah. And
it's done.
And the beautiful part about it is, it's not a case where, you get shown into a room, then a nurse comes in, and then the nurse goes through, well, why are you here? What's the doing all that pre-information. Then the doctor comes in, and you sit after you've sat in the room for 15 minutes, going, gee, that chair over there looks a hell of a lot more comfortable. Then, and as soon as you put your butt in that chair, because it's the doctor's chair, and you're going, I'm tired of sitting on this paper up here. I'm going to sit over here in this chair. And, invariably, as soon as you sit in the chair, the doctor walks in, sort of looks at you strange, like,
you're in my chair.
You're in my chair, and you're going, oh, well, if I hadn't had to sit here for 15 minutes, longer.
And the thing that I have to say, having actually worked in a doctor's office for about 4 years, I think it was, he's right. They have somebody come in, the doctor's nurse will do all this pre-screening with you, write a bunch of stuff down in your chart. Now it's electronic chart. So she's charting everything electronically. The doctor still has to come in and review everything that person wrote. It's almost like, why doesn't the doctor just do this? Because they don't have time. Because
they overbook.
When you call in, if they are affiliated with a hospital, the hospital pretty much has a standard of how many minutes an appointment should take, which is also why they want to know why you're coming. Because if you're coming in for a routine checkup, that's like a 30-minute appointment. If you're coming in for a sick visit, that's like a 15-minute appointment. And what often happens is you get these doctors who maybe they want to spend a little extra time with you. And, by the end of the day, that last person who's been waiting in the waiting room for an hour for an appointment they haven't had yet, it's because their doctor's behind. Mm-hmm. And their doctor is behind because they don't allocate them enough damn time to care,
do their job.
To care for their patients. They just don't.
To do their job. I mean, I had a rheumatologist in Asheville, and, Steve, because he wouldn't let me call him doctor. It was Steve, and he was great. He may have been 5-10 minutes behind, but the reason is because he talked to you.
He shoots the breeze.
He likes to shoot the breeze and get to know who his patients are. And the other thing that I loved about him was, when I first went to him, we had switched insurance because Gina switched jobs, and we moved from Charlotte to Asheville, and so now we're on a new insurance plan.
No, it was HCA. It wasn't Charlotte to Asheville. It was
when we first got there, it was still Mission.
Yeah, but you weren't seeing him yet.
Yeah, I thought I was, but
no.
Anyway, but that was one of those where the insurance company is going to force me to start my treatment back down here, and he went, "Does the other stuff work?" He goes, "Well, then that's what you're getting." He goes, "You leave the insurance company to me," and I went, "I love this man." Because he was like, I don't let the insurance company dictate to me the care of my patients. And it was just like,
Thank you.
who the hell are you? You know,
We like you.
of course, he was my age, maybe a couple years older. And he was just like, no, I don't play that game with the insurance companies. So
yeah.
he goes, if I have to go to fight with him, no problem.
He had been on Enbrel, and Enbrel was very expensive. And Mission Health in Asheville, the insurance that we had with them, they were covering it, but he had to go through a few medications before they finally approved it. And then HCA came in, basically bought or took over Mission Health and totally changed everything.
And so now we have to go all the way back
Yeah.
down. And he was like, no, we ain't playing this game.
Yeah. Anyway, so as she was saying, the healthcare is really good here. And then this idea of having free college. Wow, what a concept. Back when everybody could almost afford to go to college because you didn't have all these government-backed student loans making money in the back end. And then as soon as all these guaranteed loans came up, colleges raised their tuition and it went sky high. You need like $40,000 minimum just to get through a 4-year degree. So
I went to Davidson. And
minimum.
Davidson, one of the most expensive schools in all of North Carolina. You know, more expensive than Duke.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And I think Elon's also more expensive than Duke. Elon's not cheap.
Right.
Thank God, Lexi, for getting that scholarship. But you know, when I went to school, you know, between my scholarship for football and everything, and a little bit of Pell money, it was okay. We're covered, and it wasn't that much, and it wasn't probably 5-6 years after I got out of college that, man, suddenly the government went, oh, we're going to, underwrite the loans. And then that was just like strike a match to the system and burn it down, because now you've just made it so people can print their own money.
I mean, basically I had, I want to say that the principal was about $35,000 in student loans. And I was making, and some of that was subsidized and some of that was unsubsidized. Well, when it's unsubsidized, you get deferments while you're in class, but it's still accruing interest.
Mm-hmm.
Since 1987, when I had first started college, I took a break and went back and took a break and went back. When we came down to Mexico, I owed over $80,000. That was student loan principal, and most of that was accrued interest. My payments were over $500 a month, and that's over, multiple sessions of going to school. But the point is it shouldn't cost that much to go to school. The fact that they're willing to do this and help people further their education is a big win. And yes, Elon University, Lexi had a scholarship that amounted to approximately
$42 a year,
$42,000 a year. And she got a $5,000 stipend for her internship in LA and Hollywood. She still came out even with almost, what was it, $42,000 a year, 4 years of education.
She came out, that was almost $180,000.
She came out with about $8,000 in loans on top of that, and the loans mostly paid for her dorm
and books and
miscellaneous, mostly living expenses. So that's how expensive that school was.
I know.
Crap, Hey, Stephanie.
Hey, Steph.
Nice to have you here tonight. At this time, we don't have Mexico citizenship plans. I do need to buy me another car, though.
You're good.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, you don't have to have citizenship to buy a car.
I think you should be fine.
Yeah,
but laws have been changing.
Based
just saying.
True, but based upon, we have friends who bought a car on temporary residency here in Querétaro.
Yep.
And got it registered, the whole 9 yards. I mean, They did the chocolate on the car that they brought down with them, and then bought a second car here.
Yep.
So they have one chocolate and they have one new.
Yep.
You know, and did it on temp and no problems.
We'll get to that in just a minute. Oh, honey, it is. Oh, wait. Yeah, everybody's telling us. Look, Garganta. James and Arlene, Garganta. There you go. The UNAM is almost free, but only for Mexican citizens.
Yeah.
That's how it should be. Hola, gringos. Alfredo. Hola. We
Alfredo.
just finished our temporary residency for Denise through the Family Unity in La Paz. Did it ourselves, not too bad. But if we had to do it again, I think I will pay someone.
Yeah, I mean that's our view. Our view on it is, you know what, this is something important. Let's, you could get Uncle Charlie to come and take pictures at your wedding, but you're going to get Uncle Charlie quality. Do you pay the money to get, because it's something you only hopefully do once, and so you want to get it done right, and that's our view on it, is going, we could try an Uncle Charlie this, but we really just as soon do it right the first time and be done with it. You have this look of,
I'm just sitting here thinking of the Genesis song from the 80s, Illegal Alien, and one of the lyrics is, "But I have a sister who is willing to oblige. She will do anything to help me get to the outside." It's like, I know I have a friend. I have a friend of a friend.
Yeah.
I have an uncle. I have a sister.
Did they write that about Chrissy Hine? I mean, talk about people who would do just about anything.
Oh, jeez.
I mean,
yeah, Chrissy Hine was one of those ones that she pretty much propositioned marriage to anybody who would listen when she was in England in the mid 70s, because she was trying to get citizenship. I had heard that she was married to Ray Davies, and then I heard they never legally did tie the knot. It was discussed, but it never happened. She did end up marrying the lead singer of Simple Minds, but of course, by the time that came around, she had already been living in the UK for at least 10 years. At least 10 years. Yeah.
And if you were a musician and you were British descent, she probably propositioned you to, let's get married.
Let's get married. I want to stay. Yeah. Hi, do you use a Mexican bank that offers you customer service on phone and in person in English? Do you need to use a translation app, or do they offer you an English platform for bill pay? Fred, we do not have a brick and mortar bank. We did try to go to two different banks, and we didn't have much luck getting an account. One of them just put us through a hassle of paperwork and then wanted us to come back and sign more stuff. And we knew that they were full of it because our friends that we went with had gone with us, because they also had to go back and sign more paperwork. And it's like, basically, I don't think
it's the runaround. I mean, it's basically, we're going to wear you out to the point where you go,
and we don't want to tell you no, but yeah. The other bank wanted us to have a landline phone in our name. Okay. Number one, who the hell's got landlines anymore? And number two, we're renting. So if there's any utilities that are here already set up, they're in our landlord's name, and they don't change that. They keep it in their name. So,
and that's by design, because it used to be that was not the case, and then people would squat after they got all the utilities put in their name. Then they would go and say, "This is my property. Look, everything's in my name."
Yeah. So we did try twice, and then we stopped trying because I was able to get a debit and a credit account through Nubank, Mexico.
Which is now a bank.
It was just a finance company, and they were applying to be a bank, and now they are. But at the time that I got it, I was like, well, this is really all I needed. I really just needed a debit and a credit card so I can build some credit in Mexico if I ever need it. And they supplied both cards and supplied that ability. In fact, according to Nubank, I think my credit score is 980 out of 1,000. And when I look at Zenfi is saying I'm somewhere around 640 out of like 700 or something, all because of having this credit with Nubank. And the only reason Zenfi has a lower reported rating
Length of time.
because they only check 3 or 4 times a year. And at the time they checked me, I had maxed out my credit with New. So it looked like I had 98% utilization, which I don't right now. But at the time they checked, it looked like I did.
If you take a snapshot,
Yeah.
this is what
Yeah.
it looked like. It's time you have to take a snapshot. Back to Uncle Charlie and taking his pictures.
Now, as far as so that kind of knocks out what we have, because I don't call them on the phone, and it would be very difficult. I understand why you want to know.
That is the hardest
It's
thing
hard.
to do.
That's why he wants it in English.
In learning a new language is doing it on the phone.
It's
I mean,
hard.
it's hard.
It's hard on the phone.
It's difficult, to have conversations with my mom. And
it's interesting because we always hear people say, "You're in Mexico, you should learn Spanish." I agree.
absolutely,
I agree. But tell me how many companies you call in the U.S. and the first damn thing they say on the phone is press 1 for English, press 2 for Spanish. They all,
para español.
yeah,
No.
they do, but they don't really do that here. So I understand. It's hard to understand if you don't speak the language natively to do it on the phone. It's even more difficult. Sometimes I get a friend to make a call if we need to do that. But I don't know, unless you are calling a specific branch that has an English speaker there, you're probably not going to get an English speaker.
No, but the best part of all this is actually the fact that, a lot of the businesses here, you can do it via text in WhatsApp.
But I don't think you can with a bank.
I don't know.
And it would probably be robo responses.
I'm just saying, but for a lot of the things, you're able to use, WhatsApp and text, and you turn the auto translate on, and you're like, bing.
And then again, in person, you would have to know if that specific branch had an English speaker. Now, in the larger cities like Guadalajara and Querétaro, Mexico City, there are going to be branches that do have English speakers, but I don't know if they're going to advertise that. You would probably just have to know somebody who uses one of them, or because I don't think they advertise. I don't think they do.
No, I mean, it's like Max's vet. There is one young lady in there who speaks very good English, and she is, every time we show up, she's there and she's in the room, and
What I will say is, it's almost like, what are you trying to accomplish with the bank that you must do it in English? And does it have to be in person? Does it have to be over the phone? Because I have that Nubank Mexico app. They are predominantly an online virtual bank. They don't have brick and mortar locations. So everything is done through the app on your phone. And the great thing is I can screenshot and translate every single page within that app into English if I need it to be. So I guess it depends on what is it that you're trying to accomplish, that you feel like you need to have it in English, and why does it need to be in person or on a phone? If you're trying to do something big, like, I don't know, buy bonds, get a car loan, things like that, I get it. But oh my God.
Just give me a second.
Okay. I'm waiting for the spots to go away.
We were turning orange. So I had to change the color balance a little
We
bit.
are orange.
Well-
Oh, look, our pretty colors are coming up now. Okay. I know that's not very helpful, Fred. I'm sorry. And if there
Well,
is anyone here who's in the chat who knows a better answer, please do speak up and help Fred out if you would. Yeah, Rosario, but yes for citizens. Okay. Love these conversations so much. Hey, Diane, how you doing tonight?
It's all of us sitting around the table having a chat. I mean, that's literally how we view this whole thing.
Exactly. And this is great. Thank you for this clarification, Dawn. The universal health care will only be in public clinics and hospitals.
Which makes
That
sense.
makes sense. I
you
expect that.
You like La Jolla, you know, hospitals. You can't dictate to them because, well, they're private.
They're private.
They have the ability, you know, to do what they want to do.
You see, if they're offering free college, I'm going to become a brain surgeon like Jethro Bodine, who wants to be the first patient. Oh my gosh.
Ellie Mae.
Ellie Mae. I will be getting my residency through Family Unity when I'm ready to move down. My daughter is going to be working on her citizenship. We need to get her hands on her father's birth certificate. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, looky. There we go. Hello, Mark and Gina. We're both here enjoying your life. Yay!
Hello, Terry and
It's
Lisa.
nice to have you here tonight for sure. We're back. We're back. We had to step away from a bit. We didn't know you were gone, but thank you for letting us know. And Jenny,
Hey,
Jenny and Hidalgo. Boy. And we're seeing a lot of people tonight. We're really happy that you're here. It's awesome. I don't think campaign promises are the same in the U.S. as Mexico. Only one term, and at 3 years, your midpoint. Voters decide if you can complete your term. Ooh.
Yeah, no.
That's good to know, though.
I was sort of equating it to the
Right.
whole, you know, what we're used to hearing
right.
in the U.S. is sometimes, you know, this is a great idea. We're going to do this.
No, I'm interested in this, though. So voters can decide at a candidate's or an official's midpoint. They can actually remove them from office if they haven't lived up to whatever.
Good God, there's 500.
That's amazing. If that's how that works, that's amazing. I hadn't heard that before.
There's 535 in Washington who could all be.
I know. That's really
Shown the
cool,
door.
though. I would love to learn more about that. Oh, and while we're talking about that briefly, did you know, hey, everybody out there, did you know the 3 branches of government in the U.S. are the same in Mexico?
Mhm.
I learned that on the citizenship exams. Yep. Okay. Uh-oh. Yesterday, I became a great grandma. Get out. Does she know that you are the Kawa? And what is
You aren't old enough.
Huh?
The cow was not old enough to be
Wow,
a great grandmother.
she said
I
great
know, I
grandma.
get that.
I'm
You know.
just saying. Mm-mm-mm.
You know,
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, we're almost to the end of the first initial set of comments, and then I'll actually start bringing some stuff up that we said we were going to talk about. I graduated from Penn State in 1980 with a student loan which was subsidized by federal government at 2.5% interest, paid off in 10 years. The interest and the rate stayed the same. Let me tell you,
and then they started playing the game.
my first student loan was the one that came, not the Pell Grant, that's a grant.
That's a grant. Yeah.
It was the one that came like in conjunction with that. And it was at 6 point some percent, 6.75, something like that.
Mhm.
And it was a small one. Later student loans came in at over 8%. When I went back to college and I wanted to consolidate my loans, they wouldn't do it unless I had a new loan to add to the old loans. They wouldn't take the old loans and consolidate them. I had to get a brand new loan if I wanted consolidation.
Yeah, I mean,
And the stupid part is at that time, they were offering 3% on loans. And my loans
was over double.
my loans were over twice that. And they pretty much stayed that way. Then eventually when I did go back to school and I had to get more loans out, They did finally do one major consolidation, and it came back down to 7 point some% because they're weighted. They do a weighted average. They don't just take all your loans and say, okay, the going rate right now is 5%. Oh, no. They take the rate of the loans, each one of them, and they do like the weighted average of them, and you get
the stupid part about it is it's a group of people sitting in Washington who are overthinking this. You know what?
Yeah.
If you're going to underwrite it from the federal government, make it 0%.
Or
You know,
very,
and then then that makes it so we're not having to okay, one or 2%.
A service fee.
Yeah,
a service
yes,
fee.
but
That's it.
I mean, you know, when all the talk was going around about, you know, well, which has been going on for decades, you know, about student loan forgiveness and everything else. Well, you know, what about the people who didn't go to college or paid their own way through college?
Yeah.
You know,
they're out there, or the ones who were able to pay off their loans.
Right. And so, you know, it's one of those where you go, hold on, you know, take a look at what the people have paid. You know, if you've paid, let's just use Gina's numbers. Let's say it was let's just say it was $35,000.
Yeah.
In interest. When you reach
plus
30,
plus
you know,
interest.
And if you wanted to make it so it was equitable, pay the $35,000 off. Done. Thank you.
I would have already been paid off.
And
that's
yeah, we paid that off long time ago.
You know,
so it's one of those where, you know, make it affordable, make it equitable. And okay, if you've got a $150, $250 annual, you know, maintenance fee for the loan or something that's affordable, do that. But there's too many people making too much money off of this. And that's just, you know.
Well, it's wrong.
It is wrong.
It's wrong.
Yeah.
And that's why they have so many people go in default on them.
Yep.
And
the one thing you can't get rid of in a bankruptcy?
Your student loans. Ever. I actually thought I was going to go to the grave with them. So
Yeah.
You are not late, Anna. We haven't even actually started hitting our main topics yet. We're in here over an hour already. Just
Kibitzing.
Doing what?
Kibitzing.
What is a kibit?
When you're kibitzing, you're just sort of shooting the shit.
Is that Yiddish or something?
I don't know where it came from, but
kibitzing? I never heard of it. That means it.
Just chatting about this.
He made it up.
I did not.
You got one of your books, maybe. Probably.
No, actually, I got it from my mom, and that
she says it.
Yeah, if you're kibitzing around, you're just putzing. You know.
Okay. We like our shirts too. Gen X. We don't care.
We do.
I know. Landline phone, Jenny, right? Is that not hilarious? And yet that is one of Inbursa's requirements. Inbursa wants
in 2026 a landline.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? We have friends who have landlines who are willing to let us use their landlines. But then if you give them the landline, somebody's going to call them and they have to answer the phone and say, yes, you know. This is the number.
They live here. You know.
Yeah. It's crazy, right? Suzanne, how you doing? We also can relate about banks giving you the runaround. We had issue when we tried to open up our account. We finally got one at BBVA.
I mean, Mark and Paulette went through it. Annie and Arlene went through it.
Yep.
Mark and Vicky went through it. It's a common occurrence of sort of just, you know, and a lot of it is who you know.
It is.
I mean, literally, you know, if you happen to find somebody who's got an in with somebody at a bank and, oh, yeah, this guy's the manager, go see Jose over here, let him know that I sent you over, and okay, we got you taken.
I mean, know will get you into places sometimes for sure, especially
here in Mexico.
We had to use Google Translate, and And I actually used Google Translate for some of the forms that we tried to fill out when we were opening.
Yeah,
up
and
was Banamex, right?
yeah, and she had Arlene sitting next to her, and Arlene's going,
yeah, how do we answer this?
you know, because it was business and this and that, and so it's one of those where you suddenly just go,
They were just giving us the runaround.
and then what do we get? Well, you'll get an answer. You'll hear from us in the next 20 days, and then like a month later, oh, we need you to come back in and sign. And we're going, oh, we've seen this
because our friends were
played
with
out
us
because
doing the same thing.
Annie tried to get one, and she was in there in the corner with another person trying to get theirs, and it was just it's like, oh, you got to be joking.
We knew that. What U.S. bank cards do you use in Mexico with no problems? Visa and MasterCard.
Well, no, hold on. Some of them have international fees.
But that doesn't matter. They work.
Well, yeah, they work.
That's up to them to know what fees
But,
they have on their cards.
I mean, we use primarily Capital One is our primary card that we use down here because there is no international fee.
There's no international fee on our Charles Schwab debit.
Correct. And
Capital One and
the American Airlines card. Citibank.
So those cards don't have international transaction fees. However,
big transaction, throw it on the American Airlines card and get the miles.
Well, the point is Visa and MasterCard work universally here. If you have smart card technology, a lot of vendors now have the touch to pay. You can also put them in a Google wallet or an Apple wallet and use touch to pay. What?
Easier said than done.
Okay, well, we'll get back to that in a minute. So the only one that we were worried about is that Capital One is now using the Discover Card network.
Well, they bought Discover.
And they're using the Discover Card network and they're rolling it out gradually. And we just got our replacement Capital One cards activated and they are still on MasterCard. But eventually we expect that that's going to be Discover. If it becomes Discover, that is not universally accepted in Mexico.
No.
So forget your Discover cards.
I mean, you'll find some places, but you aren't going to you're not going to walk into well, we have a little tienda that like, when we go over and see Annie, Vet, and Arlene, we have this little store that we stop at. And I mean, God bless this woman. Every time I have ever been in that store, and it doesn't matter if it's 10 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock at night, whatever day of the week, this same woman is working behind the counter. And she's a sweetheart and everything else. I mean, if I've got, bags of ice.
Super Q.
Yeah, the Super Q there. And she runs out and she'll open the door for me. And I mean, she is an absolute sweetheart. And, but would I want to try and pay with a, because sometimes she doesn't have change and I may only have like a quinientos in my pocket. And, she'll look at me and go,
she doesn't have cambio.
No tango cambio. And it's like, no hay problema, and I'll whip out the card and pay with it on the card. That was a Discover, this little tienda. I'm not sure because I think she might be one of two employees and the other one might be part-time because
it wouldn't matter if it was Discover. I haven't seen a single sign anywhere we've been in Mexico that shows that they accept a Discover card. Now, I'm sure that there are some, and I bet you any money, high-end hotels, stuff like that.
High-end restaurants.
But that's going to be the one that's going to be hard. Have you seen American Express?
Oh, yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay, so that one's probably safe.
But not as prevalent as Discover and Visa.
Right.
Which in the U.S., not as prevalent as, there are places that in retail you go, I don't want to have to pay the American Express because you're losing 1.5% to 2% because American Express's fees are percentage-wise are higher than Visa or MasterCard. And, if you're a business that's sitting there going, you know what, we're trying to make sure that we're maximizing our profit margin. Well, that 1 or 2% can make a big difference to the bottom line.
Yes, it can.
Hey,
Yes,
Max.
you can.
Max, get out of here.
I've called the BBVA toll free and asked if they can connect me with an English speaker, and it has worked. Sometimes there's a wait. That's very good to know. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Ron. Gracias. I was watching older videos the other day by Why Not Now. Any idea if they ever started a different channel or how they are? Oh, Sheila, I wish I knew.
They have never responded to any attempt that we've made to reach out to them.
Over the years, I have tried. And not that long ago, a few months ago, I want to say, they commented on one of our videos. I think it was them. I want to believe it was them. And I replied back and I said, hey, we've tried to reach out to you. How are you guys? Are you still in Mexico? Never a response, not even to that. So I don't know. I don't know. And I really liked Lisa Marie and I thought they'd be cool to meet. I don't know. Steven seemed a little high strung to me.
At the end,
Yeah.
I think the economic pressures were starting.
It happens.
We're starting to get to them, and it's
Money
hard
money stresses you out, man.
when you're trying to figure out how we're going to pay for the next month. They're
Yeah.
like, all right, dude, stop.
Yeah. Yeah. We actually loved we loved the fact that they did some content that other people really weren't doing. Some of the videos that would stand out to me was a visit to a park with a bunch of cats. Of course, the Aguas Calientes when they were in Querétaro, things like that. They went out to, I don't think it was Morelia, Manzanillo. No, not Manzanillo. I don't know.
Biting.
They went out to the coast, to the West Coast. And then, they just kind of like vanished. They vanished. And it was because of money. They were, I think the last place we saw them in, was Aguas Calientes.
Yeah.
They had gone to the Feria, which is in May. I remembered that because I wanted to go. It's one of the biggest ones in Mexico.
Well, and then, quite honestly, the tenor of their video started to change a little bit towards the end there.
It changed because of the money stress. I get it. And people were saying,
no biting. People
were saying some nasty things probably in the comments to them because there were comments that were being made about them being in an interracial marriage and just stuff like that. And it was definitely one of those things where you know how trolls will be. If they find out that something triggers you,
if they can get under your skin,
they will do it.
Once they find that that's a pore that they can enter,
they will do it.
They don't stop.
Right. So, I didn't read all the comments that they would get. I probably hardly ever read the comments they would get, but I did think that, for example, I think Lisa Marie was the first person, maybe the only person that I ever saw that actually showed you screen by screen, step by step, how to do your own residency renewal. So you wouldn't have to go and hire someone. And we still did, but I thought that was fantastic. That was fantastic content. So, yeah. Right, dude? I must taste really good right now because I'm getting a tongue bath. As a Mexican by birth, I've always had this doubt. Are there any public universities in the United States that are completely free? No. Not that I'm aware of. Now, there are a lot of grant and scholarship opportunities if you know where to find them. But of course, that requires that you do a lot of research. And that means that somebody else has found a way to make money because there's people who will put together books of where to find all of these grants and
available for $19.99
scholarships, right? There's a lot of them out there, but you have to know where to find them. You have to be in the right categories. And believe me, there are categories to qualify for these things. Are you a child of are you descended from somebody who was in the U.S. Revolution? Guess what? There's scholarships out there. Are you somebody who is related to someone who worked in the post office? Well, there's scholarships out there. Like the number of places you can find money are everywhere, but how to find those places is not necessarily evil, and they're easy, and they require a lot of work because you got to do the research, and then you got to write essays.
There's the Yoda look.
The Yoda look. Yoda! Hello. How cute I am. Adorable I am. Right? Yeah. Should have called him Yoda. But I don't think that there's free. I don't think that that exists. Unless it's a community college.
And there, I was just gonna say, there might be some like in Alaska where they are for the indigenous people.
Yeah.
You know, there could be some
marginalized groups.
Yep.
Things like that.
You know, and that's a possibility, but you know, in the lower 48, no, it's all about how much money can we make.
Now, in the US, and even this isn't always true, community colleges tend to cost less than a 4-year college or university. And a lot of people will go to community colleges first to get all of their general education credits out of the way. And then there's also state schools. Now, I say this with a grain of salt because I always thought that if it is a state school or university, such as in Pennsylvania, Clarion, Indiana University of Pennsylvania,
Penn State,
Pitt, exactly. These are state-funded schools, and they cost less than private universities, but they are not all equal in their price scale.
Or in their education.
Then you get into North Carolina, and you have University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill.
Wilmington, Asheville, Greensboro, Charlotte.
And then what's ECU?
That's part of the.
Yeah, I mean,
NC State is also, as much as they hate to admit it, they're also part of the UNC family.
They're all state-funded schools, but I can tell you right now that it costs a whole lot less money to go to
ECU than it does to go to Chapel Hill.
Exactly. And one of the schools that Lexi, our youngest daughter,
Western Carolina,
she was very interested in either Western Carolina or Elon. Now, Western Carolina was a state school, and we kind of were hoping that she would get grants and things like that. She didn't get anything. They offered her work study. It would have cost us tens of thousands of dollars in student loans. We're back to that again. I mean, she probably would have walked out with $40,000 to $50,000 student loan debt.
Versus Elon that went
a very expensive private university, gave her a full scholarship. She only had to get loans basically to pay for living expenses. So they're not made the same.
The whole game is just rigged now.
It's
all about the Benjamins.
And she's right. Not even junior college.
Nope.
I'm thinking that there might be, in certain states, there may be some junior colleges that may be, if not totally free, damn near pretty close. But not.
Well, and the reason
it would have to be in an underprivileged, underserved area.
Right. And the reason I bring up Alaska is it's the only state that pays their citizens every year. You know, if you've been a native Alaskan for, I don't know what the qualifications are, you know, you get a check from the state government every year because of the money they make from selling the oil rights. So, you know, it's one of those where you go, okay, you know, if they've got that type of money that they're giving rebates back to the citizens, I'm sure, you know, they're always looking for ways to spend it someplace else other than putting it back in your pocket.
Yeah, they got crude oil and they don't have a dense population. So
no, and there's
spread it around.
There's places that, you know, are greatly underserved.
In Mexico, not all public universities are free, but their tuition fees are very cheap, less than $500 per semester. That is amazing.
Well, so
Yeah.
$500 now about buys you one class, if that.
Not even that, one credit,
Well, okay.
a credit, maybe. Some colleges even cost more than that per credit. Visiting your hometown, Kansas, Denise and Al heading back to La Paz soon. Cool. Cool. All right. Let's see. What is the difference between Schwab and Schwab International Card? Well, we have a Charles Schwab investor checking account. And so we have a Charles Schwab debit card for that account. I'm not really sure what a Schwab International Card is.
No, the beauty of the Schwab is, especially the debit, is that we get all the ATM fees back. So it doesn't matter where we're at. It's one of those where if there's a Santander, there's a Scotia,
yep.
There's a HSBC.
There's a casino in South Dakota.
We just walk up and go, boom, give me the money. And I never pay attention. I pay attention to what the rate is as far as the exchange rate, but I never, always decline their conversion, because you lose every time on that. But they come up and go, there's 135 peso fee for withdrawing the money.
Yeah. Okay.
Go right ahead. I don't care. I'm getting it back at the end of the month anyway. So
Max is cute. We think so too. So thank you. And this makes perfect sense, Anna. Thank you. Discover was more expensive for merchants.
Yep.
Than Visa or MasterCard.
Now that they're owned by Capital One, they may get in line more with the merchant rates, because that's always been the biggest bugaboo. Discover was charging this. They weren't quite as high as American Express. And so it's one of those where, and nowadays when you're operating on such small margins, 1 or 2% makes a huge difference.
There you go. I've worked in higher ed for 20 years and can tell you point blank, community colleges are not free either unless you're over 65. Oh, you're right. You're right, because I never got a free community college. They were more affordable for me, but it wasn't free. I just think that maybe there are some that might be for underprivileged locations and areas, like maybe, like you said, Alaska or something.
I mean,
but
I
don't think any education's really free in the U.S. So,
the only thing you can guarantee you get free, you can get our opinion every 2 weeks here for free.
And I work at a state college right now, and I've worked at state college before. No, they are not cheap anymore, and no, they are not free.
Nope.
You got that right. Because half of my student loan debt came from Pitt. It came from Pitt.
And here's the scary part. We're looking at public institutions and private institutions that are now paying their athletes millions of dollars per player. If we, and there is rumors, this has not been confirmed yet, that there are at least 2 players in college football this year that will be making more than $10 million to play football. Now, what could we do with that $10 million, and how many young people could we send through school for that same $10 million? Or let's just say, let's give the young man $500,000. That's still $9.5 million that we could be paying for these people's tuitions that would love to have a college
To have an
education,
education.
but can't afford it. And we could supplement that.
That
And
lets you know how much money the college is making off of those students that are
I
getting
I
paid.
get that. And this all comes, I mean, when I was being recruited and I went to, I was recruited by, Florida State, Virginia, Carolina, Clemson, Georgia Tech, a lot of big name schools. And the rules back then, were so stringent on the whole, we can't do this, but we can do that. And then there's the wink, wink. Well, while you're on campus, this is all we're allowed to do. But, there is this off-campus lake house that one of our big donors owns that we take the recruits out to. And let me tell you what, you're 18 years old and they put a couple of 21-year-old co-eds, one on each arm, and are leading you around, you're damn near ready to sign just because it's like, okay. But, that was the game then. And look at it now and go, God, we'd have given anything for $250 a month just to go buy pizza. Would meant we wouldn't have to go raid the frat houses to get in their fridge and steal their beer and their leftovers.
If you are Mexican by birth and not a U.S. citizen or legal resident, you wouldn't be eligible for federal aid and probably state aid.
In the U.S.
In the U.S. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Well, and let's be for real.
We're not eligible for education here either. Yeah.
No, I will say this. Mexico has given me the best education I've ever had in my life.
Yep.
Number one is this is how you honestly can live your life and be happy. And never got taught that in the U.S. I got taught all sorts of ways to be miserable. But
that's true.
But here it is,
Okay. I'm glad you're connected with so many other YouTube channels. If you go MIA, we'll be able to find out how you are. Yeah.
We ain't going MIA.
We're not going anywhere.
Soon.
Now, YouTube has changed their requirements on keeping monetization.
Oh, God.
Just very briefly, the one thing that is probably most significant for us is that it used to be once you reached monetization, you had to put out a video or something at least once every 6 months to keep monetization.
Well, and the other thing was to reach monetization. The one thing that they changed, I mean, it used to be you had to have 1,000 subscribers. You had to have 1,000
4,000 watch hours.
4,000 watch hours. And what was the other one?
I don't know, but the point is that
they doubled the watch hours.
It was not the watch hours that was hard to reach.
No, it was always 1,000 subscribers.
Getting 1,000 subscribers is a lot harder than getting even 8,000 watch hours.
And by the time we reached, and that's not 8,000 cumulative. It's now 8,000 a year.
Watch hours.
Watch hours.
Not subscribers.
And so, if you're struggling to get to that 1,000, you have to also now pay attention, because it used to be for us, it was, we hit this one. Oh crap. We're still at 400 subscribers. I mean, literally we had qualified.
It took a while to reach 1,000 subscribers.
And by the time we hit the 1,000 subscribers, we were getting 1,000, give or take, every month in watch hours. And so, okay, times 12, we're golden.
Okay, so the point is YouTube has changed how hard it is to get monetization. It does not affect those who are already monetized. But here's where it changes for us. We used to only have to put out video content at least once every 6 months to keep the channel active.
Correct.
If you didn't do that, your channel would lose monetization and you would have to start over. Now it's every 90 days. So basically they doubled it. Again, you got to put a video up.
That one they cut in half.
Yeah.
And God help you if you're a short platform.
Oh, we don't do shorts.
And
you do short, and I don't care about the shorts.
I know, but just for your edification there, you have to do 10 million short views every 90 days. Views. 10 million views every 90 days to maintain monetization. If you dip below that for any, and it runs, I mean, so
it's a rolling year.
It's a rolling. So if you do 3 months of 10, and then at the end of the next month it's only 9.5, there goes your monetization.
Yeah, it's
like
so. That's kind of news a little bit. Not that I'm worried about it or anything,
not us.
But we paid $2,000 for our niece to attend a local college in Puebla. She got her teaching certificate with that. She started teaching right away, building credits each year toward a higher degree. That's excellent. That's excellent. That's as it should be. It really is. So, casino in South Dakota, it's all about the buffet. We did not go to their buffet. We went to breakfast, though. We did do breakfast in there.
We did breakfast and we did. We ate dinner at
ate dinner in town.
At a Mexican restaurant of all places.
Yeah.
Where they spoke almost nothing but Spanish.
And I think she was from Jalisco.
I think she was. And so, or Guerrero.
Or Hidalgo. I can't remember now.
But it was like, we
were like, hey, we're moving to Mexico.
This is really strange. And the food was,
Yeah, it was. But the buffets.
Yeah, we went to the Indian one just about 30 minutes north of Sioux Falls.
Patrick Mahomes.
I was thinking we weren't going to do fantasy football this year, and then all of a sudden I just got an email today from my cousin's son going, okay, the draft is this date and da 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 da, and I'm like, oh crap, I was so.
Okay, so that $2,000 was 4 years ago. But even though, if there's been inflation, even if it's $4,000 now, that's a bargain compared to what the U.S. is charging.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is.
You can't sniff a university for $4,000 per semester.
Texas Arlington wasn't expensive in the 80s, but Sherry and I were dead broke. Oh, we worked ourselves.
Yeah. I mean, you did what you had to do.
You did what you had to do, and you could get through it. I really feel bad. Like I said, Lexi, she had 4 years of just about a full ride scholarship, and she still came out. Oh, and I don't know. I think it's less than 10,000, but she still has debt, and she's paying it. So. The Manning kid played QB for Texas.
Arch, yep. And he went, you know what? I mean, I'll give the kid credit. He went, I don't need this much money from the schools. He's smart. He realizes that, he's a Manning. His family is all over. I mean, both of his uncles and his dad do commercials, and they're well known and everything else. So Arch was going to be set, but he comes from money, and he went, you know what, pay somebody else. Let's make the team better. I'm going to make mine just through endorsements, and his endorsements alone are going to make him the highest paid player in all of college athletics, because Arch is a commodity that they're all going, oh, everybody wants a piece of that.
In Mexico, public online universities like UNAM are starting to appear, offering completely free tuition. The problem is they are only free for Mexican citizens.
I don't see that as a problem.
I don't necessarily see that as a problem.
Nope.
But, when there is enough to go around, and if they were to decide that residents could go as well, then the question becomes, well, you've got to be proficient enough to take these courses in Spanish. And, that's a whole other level. So I don't know. I think if you're a citizen, this is something that you should have a right to. How it gets paid isn't always easy to explain, though. And that's in the US, that's really a big problem because they cost so much there. So did I miss? You went to South Dakota? Well, yes. Before we came here, we established residency in South Dakota, basically for tax purposes and to get driver's license. So we had US IDs.
And the other reason was no state vehicle annually inspection.
Oh yeah. We didn't have to bring our car back every year.
The whole goal was we wanted someplace, the first requirement was we did not want to have to bring the car back every year.
Right.
So, okay, that narrowed the pool down to a small number of states. Then, okay, amongst these states, now what's the difference between these states and, South Dakota having no retirement tax, no inheritance tax, no income tax. Suddenly we're going, hello, but next year we're probably going to have to go back to South Dakota just because our driver's license are coming up for renewal. And we think she could do hers online.
That's how it was presented when we initially got them.
And whether the rules have changed or not,
the rules may have changed.
We got to find out. But I have to go because I'm 65 or older, and that requires I have to show up and show them a eye exam within 180 days. So it has to be a recent eye exam. So, I got to go, period.
The interesting thing is you can get that eye exam done wherever within 180 days of that appointment.
Yeah.
Why can't you just do it online and send them?
Because they don't.
The eye exam.
You have to. I know.
I know. That makes no sense.
Hey, these are politicians. They never make sense.
All right. Look. So have you heard about this thing called Mextranjero 2027? Mextranjero.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Well, what is it? Let's talk about that for a minute. And I'm going to definitely bring up the Facebook group as soon as I find it. Boom. The Mextranjero Creator Meetup. So what we started doing a couple years ago, if you didn't know already, is we decided it would be really, really cool to make it possible to meet our subscribers and interact in person. And then we started asking other channels if they wanted to do the same. And now next year in San Luis Potosí is year number 3. And we are really excited about it for a few reasons. One, we're meeting some new people we've never met before as far as channels go.
Ooh. I even have that right here.
Oh, you do?
I do.
He got a list. He's got a list of all the channels that are going to be participating.
And I have to start with Expat Spanish because Amy Whitney is the sponsor. She has graciously offered up the money to sponsor Mextranjero 2027, and she will be there. So, and we're trying. We just were in this conversation yesterday.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Hold on, this is about Mextranjero.
Okay.
I have a train of thought here. Okay. We're trying to convince her to do a sample class for the attendees, so that you guys get an opportunity to see how it is that Expat Spanish works. So, we're trying to work out the details right now about all of that. But, if you're looking to improve your Spanish, Amy's your gal. She will definitely up your game So, and I think she's going to put up the Expat Spanish pop up, whatever.
Yeah, I am. Go
okay.
ahead and let them know who's all coming.
Next is Silver Fox in Mexico. Of course, Lisa and Terry, the best is in Mexico. And we're hoping that that includes Mama Sue, because Mama Sue, she's Mama Sue.
She's the queen of Mextranjero.
She's the queen of Mextranjero, without a doubt. Tony G Travels will be there. Mexico Living the Dream. Our good buddy Brighton from Almost Retired in Mexico. He and Kat will be there. Wayne from Living La Vida Lakeside. Of course, this event would not be what it is without these two gentlemen here, KJ and Craig from Truly Remarkable Life. You know, we started this whole thing, and all it was an excuse to party, and everybody sort of came, got together, and we had a good time and joked and laughed, and they went, man, this is a lot of fun. We're going to host it next year in Ahihi. And they took what we just sort of started and went, let's all get together and have some fun. And boom, they created this whole event. So kudos to those two gentlemen, KJ and Craig from Truly Remarkable Life. Of course, Jeff and Sherry from Papa moved to Mexico, or as some of you else may know him, Papa got a GoPro. Of course, our hosts next year in San Luis Potosi, Mark and Paulette, who are doing all the hard work of putting this together. Please give them mucho kudos, because they're doing a lot of hard work to make sure this all comes off great. From Two Travelers in Mexico, Travel with Alicia, John Pedroza from Pedroza Travel will be there. Looking forward to that. Benjamin and Heather from Building a Life in Mexico, and Adam from Into Mexico We Go. So those are the people that are going to be there.
That's a good list. What is that, 15 channels?
That's about 15 channels.
And that's a good list, and we've definitely got some new participants.
Yep, and that's one of the things about moving it around that you know, you'll notice that probably 10 of those are more than once.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so you know the list is probably going to keep getting smaller of the people who've been to all three as far as channels. Right now, it's us, KJ and Craig, Mark and Paulette. And the best is in Mexico. Yep. I think that's
basically anybody who was there at the first one, minus Ernie.
Well, and La Karencita.
Oh, and La Karencita, you're right. As far as channels go.
I'm thinking as far as channels go, I think that's, you know, and Shane and Ruby, they started a channel, but they weren't there last year. So, but that's, you know, that's a good list. We're looking forward to it. You know, we're going to start it off again. We're talking about today with the live and getting some of these new channels
to participate
in the live, so you guys get a chance to meet these people as well. And so,
so why should you be interested and want to come to this? Well, you get to hang out with us. You get to see, you can ask questions. You can just visit. Everyone's going to have a table, and you can visit each channel and learn more about what they do. You can ask questions. I don't know exactly yet if there's going to be any kind of formal Q&A type stuff. Things are still being planned, but you also get to meet people just like yourself.
See the list over here?
Yes.
You know, that list of you guys get an opportunity. And it's funny as all get out. I mean, we get to sit there and watch, you know, I mean, the people that are on here, you see them all the time. You know, Tommy, Stephanie, Annie, Yvette, and Arlene. You know, they were all there at the first one, and they were all there last year. And the friendships that they have formed, you know, through this event.
Yep.
And
I'm going to go hit some lights.
we have some great conversations. A lot of us, last year, we happened to find a great hotel. And so we had the opportunity to after hours sit there and have just like we're doing here, have a beverage or two. And, we basically sat and laughed and had a absolute great time. So the big key here is you get to spend time
hanging out,
and you find out that, what, we're just like you guys. I mean, that's literally.
Well, and what's another good reason for this?
San
Luis Potosí.
Oh,
if you have never been there,
churros.
And a beautiful, beautiful centro area. Very modern in a lot of ways.
And very old in others. I mean, it is a beautiful mix of the history and the growth of Mexico all in one city. It's a very unique central area. The museums there are to die for. They have some of the best that we've seen in all of Mexico. So, and a lot of them are right there in the central area. The only one that I really think is worth going to that's not in the central area. All right, come on now. Is crap. The one in Tangamanga Park, the museum in Tangamanga. Well, it has an observatory.
Labyrinth.
Is that what it's called? The Labyrinth?
Yes, the Labyrinth.
You're getting wound up.
He's already wound up. I'm trying to wind him down.
So, but that was, there's a lot of things to do there. And the food, restaurant wise, San Luis Potosí got some of the best restaurants and a huge diversity of, we were amazed when we went there of the number of Asian restaurants in San Luis Potosí.
There's a lot.
Specifically Japanese.
Yes.
And we were like, okay, is there a big Japanese contingent that actually lives here?
They have Japanese manufacturers, but according to my research, they basically said, no, it's just it sells. It's just a really cosmopolitan, kitschy kind of thing, and people love it. So they have a lot of them.
Yeah.
That's it.
And the churros.
Of course. And so since I'm going to jump back before I get back to questions again and comments, since we mentioned it, we should also give lots of credit to Expat Spanish.
Oh, yes.
So Expat Spanish is our sponsor for Mextranjero 2027. And they're talking about it. I don't know if it's been confirmed, but they're talking about giving a sample class during the event so people can see what it's like to take these classes online. And, it's interesting because Amy Whitney, who is the founder of Expat Spanish, she contacted us day before yesterday, to find out if we still had access to our accounts, because they recently have overhauled the way that they do these courses. And they made it a little more flexible as far as scheduled class times and coming online so that you can get online when it's easiest for you. And they also have the ability to customize your plan when you sign up. So it's not, okay, here's level 2, and level 2 is going to meet 2 days a week at this time. Now you have, okay, here's level 2. The middle of the road progression is where we think most of our students want to be. But if you think you might move faster than that, you can move up to a faster progression, or you can move back to a slower progression if you think you need more time. Literally, level 2 would be like 8 weeks. But if you think you're going to need more time than that, the slower progression is 10 weeks. Instead of having 2 live classes per week, you have 1 live class per week. So we're signing back up. I have fallen back approximately 1 level. So I'm starting back a little bit, but I'm excited to see what it's like to do this new course structure. And what Amy is saying is that it has been shown, and she's utilizing AI with this, because I took a placement test with AI, and which I think in some ways is probably better than just answering some questions. Like AI is evaluating what words did you choose, what was the structure, what conjugation. I mean, were you on track? Did you kind of know? AI can tell these things, and it calculated where I should be. So, she says that this structure has proven so far to be much more effective, and it's sticking with her students more. They're more successful in this format than they were with the previous.
And I thought the previous was successful.
It was successful.
I mean, I thought that the old way of her class, and I'm not downplaying because I haven't participated yet in the new one, but the old one was successful. So she thinks this is even better. I'm like, yeah, okay, let's go for it.
So I'm putting the link in.
And you can use the code GRU10. You get a 10% discount. We don't get anything off of that.
No, we don't. I mean, basically, we're getting classes. That's what we get.
Yeah. and it's effective.
I think it's very effective. And I actually believe I'm doing much better these days, even with Duolingo, even though I see the faults in Duolingo, how it's good for vocabulary, but that's about it. And it doesn't make a logical jump it doesn't tell you why you're using the word the way you're using it. It doesn't say, here's the conjugations for all these verbs, but it helps with some vocabulary. I'm doing better in that because I took Expat Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Yeah. So definitely recommend it. We're so thankful that she's on board as a sponsor for Mextranjero. And we really do believe strongly in her methods in helping you learn Spanish rapidly. Well, usable Spanish.
It worked for us. And that's, and what worked for us may not work for everybody, but,
true.
Because some people are visual learners, some are auditory learners. I mean, everybody has their own different, unique way of learning. But the immersion that you get in Expat Spanish was the part that really, I think, hammered it home, because it was, let's teach you the things you're going to need to get hit when you hit the ground.
Yeah.
That's
what I loved.
Walking into a tienda, walking into a restaurant, how do you call somebody, or ask for car repairs or things like, directions.
We were doing transactions with buying something.
Yes.
And we learned the word Syrian. My God, the next time we went to a mercado and I heard someone say that, I was so excited because I knew what that meant. It was exciting.
And it really does. It did hammer it home in a lot of ways. And a lot of it has really, really stuck with me. I think I use it more than Gina does.
You do.
And so.
Because I'm working all day in
right.
in English. So, yeah.
And then by default, then what starts happening is when, like when we go to Mexico City, well, the person who has the best knowledge of Spanish becomes the one who speaks for everybody.
Sometimes.
for the majority of the time.
All the time for me. If I get a phone call and someone's asking something on the phone and I can't, I'm like, Mark, here.
You know, and so it really becomes, you know, okay, well, I appreciate it because you guys are helping me with my Spanish,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because the more I use it, the better and stronger it becomes. But you're not helping your own Spanish because you're sort of going, you know what? And my belief has been in, you know, if Amy or Denise were on here, they'd go, yeah, you know, my attitude towards it is just go with it. You're going to screw up. You're going to make mistakes. You know what? The best part is the people down here, they appreciate the effort. They laugh with you when you make a mistake and they tell you the appropriate word.
Even on here.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so that's what's great about it. And the more that I'm able to get through even the Duolingo messages, you know, the lessons, the better I feel about my progress. Although I'm a little sad that I fell back one level in Expat Spanish, but she said that this new method, you actually learn quicker. So I'm glad about that. I can't wait to try it. And of course I have Pratica, which I have not opened it up again yet because I was so dissatisfied with its incorrect pronunciation on almost every lesson that I had. But I'll try it again because AI is a learning tool. Maybe it speaks better Spanish now. And I'm not going to get buenas tardes anymore. Buenas tardes.
Well,
It sounded like Google Maps.
they're horrible.
They are. And no, we did not go do this whole thing in South Dakota.
Oh,
for
God,
sure.
no.
That would have been a hell no. When I was stationed in Alaska, all the residents got dividend check off the pipeline.
Yeah.
And my ex-wife and daughter changed their residency. They were able to get that check for some years. Reached over $3,000 per check per resident.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty wild. That is pretty wild. Wow. What is the proper way to say Mextranjero? Lisa and I struggle saying Mextranjero. Okay.
Mextranjero.
So basically, take off the M,
Mm-hmm.
and it's extranjero. Extranjero
Which means foreigner.
means foreigner.
And so extranjero. So, and we can't take credit for this. This is all KJ and Craig.
Brilliant.
They put the M on the front of it and went Mextranjero. So all we basically do is say it exactly like you would say extranjero, except you just put Mextranjero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
for sure.
and if I'm saying that wrong, Tommy, speak up. But yeah, I think it's Mextranjero.
That's how we've all been saying it.
Yeah.
So if we miss butchering it, then we're all butchering it. No, Mama Sue. Oh, we miss Mama Sue. It's nothing serious. Her legs just give her a lot of problems last year. It was really hard for her. Well, sorry to hear that.
And Ajijic.
You guys send her our love.
And Ajijic is not the easiest town to walk around
Oh, what a time to drop in just to hear you talk about us. Hey, we love you guys.
There you
we
go.
missed you. We can't wait to see you again. You guys got a bunch going down right now. So
Those are two busy men right there. You know.
okay, so Dawn is asking, what about living the Mexican dream in Chapala? Well, that's going to depend entirely on whether Mark and Paulette have asked them. I'm not sure if they're still on now.
I think that they have been approached. If not, I'll make sure to bring it up to them.
She said that they recently built their Mexican home in Lake Chapala. Okay. Very nice. And Arlene, we know you're going to be there because you're going to be staying at the party house.
Oh, God.
We're going to have a good time. And yes, we are very excited too. First of all, it's a good time getting together with other creators and who are now, most of them, that are coming, well, at least half of them that are coming, are our friends as well. So of course we love getting together with you. Oh, do you need me to go back?
No, I'm just checking.
What?
Who are we looking for?
Right up here. Living the Mexican Dream in Chapala. I don't think they're on there because I don't remember you saying it.
Hold on, there's something.
Anyway,
Mexico living the dream.
Robin and Marty Chacon with Mexico Living the Dream. That doesn't sound right because the channel is Living the Dream in Chapala.
Okay.
Living the
all right,
Mexican Dream in Chapala.
I knew somebody that was going to be there was living the.
I don't think I can copy it. So
That's all right. That's all right.
hold on. I'm going to pull this up again real quick, guys, so I can get a picture of it because otherwise we're going to forget. It'll happen. I take pictures of everything. Okay. So we're super excited too, as I was saying, because we are friends with a lot of creators that are coming and we get to meet new creators.
And we get to expand the pool even further.
Yes.
And, you know, the amazing thing is we have not met a creator at any of these events that has not become a friend. You know, I mean, it's and you've got, okay, on the high end of the spectrum, you got Brighton. You know, I'm sorry, but I don't think that, I bet if you added the rest of our subscribers up, we probably still don't get the number of subscribers that Brighton has. But, you know, but we have, so a whole varying list of subscribers there in channels that are all, you know, from the little to the quasi big, you know, and big when it comes to Mexico. I don't think there's many that are bigger right now than Brighton, so that are still active.
I don't even know.
You know, and
Mexico relocation guide. It's bigger than Brighton.
Who?
Yeah.
But you know, so it's one of those where you sort of sit there and go, wow, and everybody gets along, and it's been a blast, you know, and we appreciate everybody's hard work. We appreciate everybody who's been to one of those, everybody who wants to come to one of those. You know, it's a whole lot of fun.
And welcome tonight, Laura, to our channel. Bienvenidos. Thank you for joining us from Alberta. Wow. Very cool. Okay, so the name of their channel is Living the Mexican Dream in Chapala, Mexico. Taking another picture. You know, because if I have it wrong.
Now you got two places we can.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, geez, I just locked my phone up again. I have my list out. There we go.
Okay.
Okay. We should get her online while we're all together. She can connect with everyone. That's actually, yeah. We're going to do that live for sure.
Well, yeah.
But we could take another opportunity, if not during the live too.
I mean, we our Airbnb actually comes with a bar. And
it really doesn't because the bar's not stocked.
No, a bar area.
There's a rooftop kitchen with a bar.
With a bar that you know holds about 40 people, give or take. So, and that's where we're hoping we're going to be able to do the live from, and that's where we're going to do the creator meetup, and everything else is in that particular space because that makes it easy. That way, Mark and Paulette didn't have to go, oh, now I got to find a place to do this and everything else. And they've got a lot on their plates right now. So if that was one thing we could take off and go, look, we can do this. So, you know, we can all get together there and Zoom with Mama Sue.
So I'm going to look at Amy's program again. I couldn't make the previous program work with my schedule. I hear you. And what happened was I had gotten through level 3. I was a little shaky on level 4. I wasn't even convinced that I was ready for level 4 yet, but I signed up anyway. And then my job made it really, really hard to do the classes twice a week. It was literally in the middle of my workday. And I remember Winston sometimes would miss a class because he's working too. So when the class is in the middle of your workday, it's hard. Now, I haven't looked at the schedules for the classes yet, but they're supposed to be not required. They're drop-ins. And they're at varying times. And you sign up for whichever one fits
Right.
your schedule. Right back.
Yeah. It's the new one. I didn't do the placement test yet. But I sort of did drop in and take a look at the overall settings of the page and the class schedules and everything else. And yeah, it's looking like it's pretty much going to be, you can go through and look at your week and go, and we all know that shit changes on the fly. If you're working right now, Wednesday at 4 o'clock, my time looks open, and come Wednesday, 4 o'clock, something's going to happen. But yeah, you could just, sign up and go, I want to be there for this one, and drop your name in. So it's not as structured of a schedule as the old one used to be. And that's what was difficult for Winston, was that it was, Monday and Thursday, 11 o'clock, period. If you signed up for these classes, that's when they were. And now there's a lot more flexibility to be able to work around it and go, okay, I can't make the Tuesday class, but I can make the Thursday class. And so instead of doing it on Tuesday, you do it on Thursday. The downside of that is that it was a lot of fun. I mean, I found it to be a hell of a lot of fun.
It was fun
to have the same 6-7 people, throughout the entire class. And I'm sorry for some of those people who had to take it when Rick and I were together in some of these classes, because Rick, who has a channel here on YouTube, because he moved to Panama. He tried Mexico and found that Panama worked better for him. But he and I had the same mentality of, we're going to have fun. We're going to cut up. We're going to have jokes. And our whole goal, every class was, especially if we had Denise, we were going to get her flustered some way, shape, or form, because she was so much fun when she got flustered, because she'd just be like, and you could tell. So there's a varying amount of classes, anywhere from, I think right now the plans are $89.99 and $139 a month. I think is what they were when I looked at it the other day. So, but that's one of the things that we had a lot of fun, and you got to know the people, and that was a great way, of continuing, and all of us, sort of pushed each other to try and learn. So,
I'm working on it.
I see
I'm
that.
trying to see if I can get a price list, because we're going to be honest about it. We don't really know, because basically we have this sponsorship.
That's the old pricing. I signed
No,
in.
right here, 16 self-paced lessons. Spanish from zero, level 2 course, $199.
Okay, I just signed in and saw
okay, sorry.
at the front page that there was like monthly.
I can't really see it. So what I was trying to say is that because we do this sponsorship, normally what happens when you have a referral code is, if somebody goes through your referral code and signs up for a class, you get a small payment in return, maybe 10% or something, like a finder's fee. And that's how these referral codes work. Well, we don't get a fee. What we end up getting out of it is we get free classes.
It was
And we've been taking these classes now off and on with her for like, what, 3 years now?
yeah,
Yeah, since Progresso.
it's Progresso.
Since Progresso. So we have probably more than made a trade-off in that way, because
I think we came out ahead.
I think we did too.
You know, I mean, it's one of those where you know, she offered it, which was, you know, her offer. Thank you, Amy. Was more gracious than what we were ever thinking. And she, you know, because when we were having the first conversation, she just threw a, well, I was thinking about giving you guys the classes for free.
Okay.
Okay. You know, and
But in return for that, we of course promote.
right.
But keep this in mind, there's a lot of people that like to shill
Yeah.
on the internet, and we don't do that.
No, I mean,
we won't do it unless we use it and we like it, and we do.
I mean, I went all the way through level 6. I completed the whole class. I mean, there was no higher level for me to go, and it was like, okay.
And they were just developing those higher levels because
Yep, I was part of the beta on the higher levels.
New.
Uh-huh.
And so they hadn't gotten to that point yet where they had students as high as you at that
Correct.
time.
And so it was we came out ahead, and you know, we would not, you know, even though we are friends with Amy, because she's great. She is a great individual. But we came out way ahead on this deal. So
I want to say, if what I just found now, what I did is basically I asked Google to tell me what is the current pricing for classes that are offered from expatSpanishLessons.com. And it came back with some prices, and it says level 2 course is $199, includes 16 self-paced lessons and 50 plus videos, flashcard app access, which is Brainscape, and those cards are really fun and they're good. And then you get audio and written tools. Then there's a level 2 and 3 bundle that's $299. Now, if those prices are correct, I just got done signing up for level 2 again. And level 2, I took the slower pace, and that is 10 weeks. What?
Expat Spanish licensing pricing page.
Let's go there.
Let's see what that tells us. There you go.
Oh, there's monthly plans.
There's well, I was just saying
that doesn't seem right. That seems like no.
I'm just saying.
I don't know.
That's what I saw when I was on there.
That doesn't seem right.
So
okay, so I don't know. That doesn't seem right.
That's what I saw, you know. But
monthly plan, quarterly plan, 6-month plan, annual plan. So okay, if you do an annual plan, these are monthly. There's memberships, monthly memberships now.
Now go down here and just switch to U.S. dollars.
Where am I at?
Right here. Switch to U.S. dollars.
Switch to U.S. dollars.
Sorry.
Page not found.
Sorry for pointing in y'all's face.
Yeah, no, I don't think that works right. I don't know if this is an accurate.
But I saw it on the.
I don't want to give these out because I don't know if this is an actual accurate.
I get that, but
I can't even get it converted to U.S. dollars. So
I don't know. I don't know about the whole asking for an email. I'm not sure if that's a.
This is independent plan. Something's not right about this. Oh, it says right there, old. Yeah, independent plan, Mexican old. That means this is not valid.
Okay.
So we're not going to go with that. But I am going to say that if the pricing that it used to be was right, that's 10 lessons, or 10 weeks of lessons for $200. But I'm not absolutely certain, and I wish I could be, and I'm sorry that you can't. Yeah. um, on this. I couldn't find the cost in class without providing my email address, and that turned me off. Maybe I didn't search properly. I think that I think basically what she tries to do is she gets you to take a trial class or at least a placement exam. And that doesn't cost you anything, but you're right. You got to enter your name and your email to get to that point.
There might be, you might be able to get a hold of Amy through Facebook.
You know what? But I will tell you, she doesn't spam you. She doesn't spam you. Because she's had our emails and we're in that system. So if there are, if there's mail going out to everyone, we would get it.
I can tell you, we hear more on WhatsApp than we do on email.
Yeah, there's a WhatsApp group, and a lot of the students will join that group, and you don't have to participate in it if you don't want to. It's up to you if you want to sign up for that. But there's more conversation going on in that WhatsApp group.
Oh yeah, because they ask, just common everyday questions, and how do I say this, or you never know what you're going to get on the.
Sometimes they're asking questions back and forth in Spanish, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's in English. Sometimes they're asking questions about one of the lessons. Sometimes someone will be in there and say, I want to have some one-on-one conversations. Is anybody interested in doing that? It happens all stuff like that, off and on. But I have the notices and alarms turned off for most of my WhatsApp messages. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to concentrate on what I'm working on.
It can go days being very quiet, and then all of a sudden it can go one day and you're like, let me throw my phone against the wall. I'm tired of hearing the beep beep, beep beep, beep beep.
Well, I don't believe Louisa and Michael are participating this year, are they?
Not that I'm aware of.
Weren't they retired in Mexico?
Retired Life Mexico, because they're the ones that don't have the no bull.
That's right. And I don't think they're participating. I think they were going to, and I think they had to back out. I don't recall the details. Mariana.
Don't know.
She doesn't know if she's going to be able to be there or not. And we won't know probably until right before the event. Maybe November, we might know. The lady that has her channel from Merida.
Destination Retirement.
I don't think she's
not on the list. She was there this past year.
Right. Amy. Yeah. That was her name.
That's Destination Retirement. And no on the last one.
Okay. There you go. Yeah. And they weren't sure because Louisa, she's making trips to visit her mom. See, I knew that they initially were, and then they had to pull out. So I knew something was going on there, but we're not as in the loop, mostly because, this is Mark and Paulette's show right now, and they're pulling everything together. And
they're doing a boatload of work.
They are.
I've had conversations the last 2 days behind the scenes, because the steering committee for Mextranjero is Gina and I and KJ and Craig. And between two of us, I got the time to do it. So, it's like I get it. And so, we had some conversations about doing some things, and what about this? What about that? And so, we're still trying to pull all the pieces together, but all that the steering committee is basically doing is sitting back going,
if you need some guidance,
if you have a question, shoot it at us, and we're here to go. Yeah. And quite honestly, there's a lot of convention experience between, KJ and Craig have a lot of it. I have a lot of it. And so it's one of those where, there's a pool to draw from.
Yeah.
Ask the questions.
Terry and I realized when we opened our bank account and purchased our car, we needed to know Spanish. Google Translate was our friend. I use it a lot. And I think a lot of phones may have this, but I love that our Samsung phones have where you can press the middle button and it will ask if you want to translate the screen. And I do that a lot. I do that a lot whenever I'm on certain websites. If I'm in my new account and I'm trying to read a message that they sent and I can't quite get it without some kind of translation, it's really, really good. Now, it doesn't always work with some other financial type accounts. I'm trying to think. I don't think I can do it. Not that it matters with Capital One. I can't even take a screenshot with Capital One. If you try, it won't do it because it's a security issue, obviously. But might have been Google Wallet.
Oh.
Yeah. Google Wallet. Okay. One of the things, I guess this is a good time as any to talk about that. Because the smart cards now are being restricted in delivery from outside the U.S. into Mexico, we have started to forward them over to our daughter. We activate the ones that we currently can use and get them in our Google Wallets. Well, Mark hasn't had to do the Google Wallet thing yet. And the cards...
By design.
She got them. I got mine activated. We got his activated. And then we wanted to import them into our respective Google Wallets. I struggled with mine a little bit to the point that I'm like, I'm done with this. I'm not doing it on my phone. I went to the website and I did it through the website. That's how I had to do it. It was giving me issues trying to do it through the phone, whatever. I finally got the card into my Google Wallet. Then Mark tried. And it wasn't working. It wasn't working. It wasn't working. It wasn't working. I took his phone from him. I went upstairs to my computer where I work. And I said, you know what? Let me do what I did with mine. We'll see if we can get it in. 2 hours later, I come back down with his phone. I couldn't get it in. But
wait.
Oh, there's more.
Oh.
And I want to say that what I noticed in his account was a whole lot of old, outdated information. He had an address in there from Fairview, North Carolina. Lord knows why. He had our address from Indian Trail, North Carolina in there. Fletcher, North Carolina was in there. He had 3 expired cards in his Google Wallet. I removed all 3 cards. They don't need to be in there. His mom's card was in his Google Wallet. And so I think what happens is if we use a card and he signed into Google on his laptop, it associates the card with his Google Wallet.
If my mom were to say, I need to buy something for my daughter, I want to buy her something, can you order this on Amazon for her? Which happens quite frequently, because if she can't find it the first attempt, her next attempt is wait for me to call and go on Google, go on Amazon, and you got my credit card, you got my whatever debit card, just buy it and put it on my card. Okay, Mom, not a problem. And so I've got an expired debit card from her, but Gina does all this. Mm-hmm. Google gives me the finger.
I cleaned up old, out-of-date information in his Google account. The old addresses that don't exist anymore, the old expired cards. We don't even know what those cards are. And when I come back downstairs and hand him his phone 2 hours later, it's not letting him sign into Google at all.
Nope.
He can't. And because Google is in cahoots with YouTube, he cannot look at our YouTube channel. which is why he's missed some comments over the last few days.
Apologies.
He couldn't get into the YouTube channel. He couldn't get into, but yet he could access his Gmail. It was just really weird.
It made zero sense. My Gmail, which is Google Mail, worked the entire time.
He's got an old email in there with carolina.rr.com.
Which we haven't had.
Or was it the AT&T?
No, it is the AT&T.
Either way.
And then there was a morris.bb.net, which was when we first got to Fletcher, because that was the only option we had for cable was Morris. And so we had to sign up for that. And so the lesson learned is, after all these pain in the ass, I don't have that email anymore because we no longer subscribe to that particular company. Well, you have to go to a generic email address, yahoo.com, Gmail, whatever.
It was basically
something you can carry with you when you tell Spectrum or whoever to go pound sand because you're tired of paying 175, 250, whatever. I know, keep going. Dollars a month, for their cable and their internet and this and that. And so then, but it locked me out.
So basically, because he had the wrong emails in there from a bunch of old accounts he can't access anymore. If they wanted to verify he really was who he was,
they were sending it to a dead email.
Exactly. So there was a whole lot of mess up. So when he finally did get the whole email thing under control.
No, once I finally got back into Google.
But it took 6 hours.
It did. Yeah. It did. It took 6 hours. And they were like, we believe it's you because, that's right. You answered all the questions.
But we're going to cool it for 6 hours.
But come back in 6 hours. And so came back in 6 hours, got into Google, finally got all that restored. And go to Google Wallet, add this card.
Still no. And
I'm like, really?
Sorry, we've hit a snag.
And it goes, we have to verify with Capital One.
So he's got to install Capital One's app on the phone because it won't do the verification any other way, even if you're on your computer.
And so even so, going through Capital One's app, they go, you're all set and ready to go. Google Wallet goes,
you still have to verify.
No, we hit a snag.
And
so then it was like, hold on. One saying yes, the other saying no, and it's showing up in the Google Wallet.
But it says it still has to verify.
Someone made a purchase and it went right through.
Thank God for that. I noticed, though, even on Capital One's website through the computer, it showed me the option of Google Wallet as an electronic payment method, but it would not show Google Wallet as an electronic payment method when he logged in through the computer. So that was a hot mess. Anyway, I don't even know how we got on this story now. I'm lost. And so how about doing Life with Jenny? Now, are we talking about Jenny Hammond here, who's online or was online? Because I don't know. Let's ask Jenny if that's the same Jenny. And of course it has to be like if Mark and Paulette had reached out to them or not. We're not really sure who all they reached out to. We only know who is supposed to be coming. They may have a list of people that they attempted to reach out to and either didn't get a response or didn't get a yes. And we don't know would this be Jenny Hammond?
I think so. And if Jenny, if you're interested, just all you got to do is.
Yeah, let us know.
You know where we're at. We can facilitate that with no problem. And I got one more thing on the Google Wallet. Just
okay.
Hey, Google. directed directly at Google. Why do you need both Google Wallet and Google Play? Google Pay.
Google Pay and Google Wallet. Why? They should be one and the same. That is so confusing. That is confusing for somebody who normally is not confused by these things.
What the hell?
What is the difference between Google Pay and Google Wallet? I noticed that too, because you see, here's what happens. I put the cards in on Google Wallet. And then Google Pay, when I'm in there, that's the same account, by the way, that YouTube makes our monetization payments through, is Google Pay. And I'm in there on Google Pay, and I'm like, I don't want all these credit cards being listed here on Google Pay. I added them in Google Wallet. I don't want them in Google Pay. So I started removing them. And halfway through, I'm like, wait a minute, do I really want to do this? If I remove them from Google Pay, will they disappear from Google Wallet? No, they didn't. So I removed them from Google Pay. They stayed in Google Wallet. Why do we have these two? Why are they not just one and the same?
That's my whole question.
Yeah.
It was, you know, I finally get through all this, and then it goes, would you like to utilize Google Pay? And I'm going, what the? I was putting it in Google Wallet. To me, wallet, pay, same damn thing.
That's right. And I use that magic button on my phone all the time. That's right. That magic button is priceless. Priceless. Hey, Amy. Hi, Amy.
Hey, Amy. We were just talking about you.
Yes, we were. I had to renew my driver's license today in Guadalajara. Wow, that was a Mexican trámite adventure, even with speaking Spanish. Wow.
And trust me, folks, Arlene is good. I would put Tommy and Amy at about the same level. I mean, they're like, so, you know, we enjoyed Manzanillo because when we went out to dinner with Amy, it was my turn to go. I can just shut up, you know, because we went to one place we wanted to go to and it was closed. And so then it was like, oh, now we got to get on the phone. And Amy's like, yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Yes. So, Amy, we were talking about how we are rejoining the Expat Spanish journey.
Can you explain the pricing?
Yes. Can you explain the pricing? Because we weren't really sure how to explain it. And we found what I think is an old page. It actually was, the URL actually said old and Google had brought it up. So I didn't want to give it out because it didn't seem like it would be accurate if it's not even an active live page. So if you have time to explain it, that would be great. Or if anyone here wants to reach out to Amy in Expat Spanish, she can explain the program to you for sure. I'm excited to try this. Yay. All right. So not a fan of Google and Google Wallet. I'm an Apple gal. Nah, you're a crapple gal.
That's what we call it. You know, and it's amazing. And it's what you're used to. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
what it comes down
you
to.
know, and you know, my mom is 100% Apple.
Yes, she is.
And she goes, how do I'm like, Mom, you're on Crapple. I have no clue. And she goes, oh, that's right. You know, fortunately, the only thing she is not on Crapple on is her computer. So when she has a computer question, you know, if I can't answer it, then you know, she gets the IT department. So
I even got an app installed on my laptop so that I can remote into her laptop if she ever needs help. I'm like her personalized IT department. Our new Mexican phone is Google. Can't stand it.
It really is. I mean, we have a good friend of ours who was Android, and he got talked into buying an Apple on his last phone.
And he hates it.
And he wants to taco that thing so bad. and his wife is so tired of hearing it. But
And
she's like, I'm ready to taco it. Just you go buy yourself a damn Samsung.
Yeah, she is an Apple person.
And she's an Apple
She
person.
likes her phone.
You know,
But he doesn't like it.
And he's like, you know, and here again, he's like, but I got all the banking apps finally set up on the Apple.
Oh no.
And he goes, I don't want to have to go through changing it all again.
Oh.
And I went,
well, then you got to get used to it.
I said, Mark, you can keep both phones. You just don't have to pay for the subscription on the other, because the other will still work if you have internet. If you have internet, Wi-Fi. So leave the other one at home, do your banking on that one at home, and carry around a Samsung. You're golden. So
that is a good way of doing it. I
mean,
there was a time when I used to work on site that we could get a work phone just for work.
And it was Crapple, if I remember right.
I don't remember anymore, but I was tired of carrying two phones around. So they were willing to pay us a monthly stipend toward using our own phone. And that's what I ended up doing. I hated carrying two phones. So we are talking about Jenny Hammond. And if Jenny is still on, Jenny, if you would like to participate, I don't know. I don't know if Mark and Paulette had reached out to you, but for sure, it would be really great to meet you too. So yes.
I mean, God, Jenny's been with us since
damn near the beginning.
Well, yeah, all the way back to Fletcher days. So
yeah. Oh, and yes, Bruno, it is a boomer.
Oh, thing. It is. It's totally.
But I struggled too. And the thing is I tried everything I knew because I ran into some of the same issues, and then I got mine done.
She was like, I'm going to preempt the eruption. Give me your phone.
I said, give me your phone. I took it upstairs.
And I'll go do it, and it'll all be good.
But it wasn't. It wasn't.
It went from being down here in the shit to even lower in the shit.
I mean, I think I triggered when I was clearing.
Whatever.
I think I triggered identity flags because I was wiping out all this old crap that had nothing to do with him anymore. Old emails, old credit cards, old addresses. And I think it might have thought that he had been compromised. And that's fine, but they need to be a little more transparent with what the issue is.
It was definitely compromising my patience.
Yeah. Bet you needed a stick and 3 cerveza after that day.
Hey, the sticks, yes. Here, the only time I drink here at the house is when I get to go with you guys. It's All
right. Boom. Okay, so and I love this. Speaking Spanish makes life so much better.
Oh,
that goes without saying.
Es verdad.
Yeah. And thank you so much for posting this. Okay. We have a plan called 21 Day Spanish Breakthrough for new students. It's the way in the door to test out the program. Currently $47. Well, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. And then after that, we have different plans available that vary depending on the length, 3, 6, or 12 months, and the number of classes. Most work out to $129 to $199 a month average. Okay.
And folks, you're getting basically, not even basically, you're getting a tutor.
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to sit there with a group of people, talk Spanish back and forth, and laugh while you're doing it, and then learn at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't get any better.
Oh, and for sure, like I said, we've seen people in the WhatsApp group basically ask if anyone wants to do conversations with each other because they want to get more practice and stuff like that. So,
yeah,
lots of connections.
I mean, it's easy peasy, and Denise and Amy make it so easy to enjoy yourself while you're doing it.
Yeah.
You're not getting the. What do you mean you don't know this word? It was in the flashcards this week. Well, that means I would have done the flashcards this week.
And this is the man who never did his damn homework. Not once. He never did the homework. I don't know how he managed, but he did.
It worked well for me. I know how I learn and
But you never even looked at the homework.
Yes, I did.
Did you?
At the beginning, I went through and did like, I don't know, a couple hundred of the flashcards, and then was like,
I don't mean the flashcards, honey.
Well, no, I did some of the homework at the beginning, and then it was like, and the other part of it is I honestly believe that for me, putting the pressure on to perform is the same as showing up and having to talk with somebody, and the pressure suddenly on, and boom, here's a spotlight. It's on you, Bubba.
Oh man!
Now you got to come through, and so you could be prepared. And for some people, like her, she prefers that.
I want to at least know what we're going to be discussing. I don't retain things as well as he does. And so I need that preview. I need the extra practice and stuff like that.
Yeah. And for me, I want that deer in the headlights. Here you go. It's the cop walking up, tap, tap, tap on the window. Oh crap. I'm going to have to pull this out now, aren't I? Uh-huh. Well, I treat my Spanish the same way.
That sounded really bad.
Well,
the cop is tapping on the window, and he's going to have to pull this out now.
Well, okay, maybe not pull that out, but pull the Spanish out.
No. Okay.
but it's. I think back to when we first crossed the border. And we were getting stopped every time we crossed the state line. Every time we crossed the state line. And they'd say something, and I'd be looking at them like deer on a headlight, and they were asking what's in the bag on top of the car. And we'd go 500 feet down, and I go, Cosas de la Casina. And Gina was like, all right, I'm writing that down. And she actually drew a picture of the whole 9 yards. So the next time we cross the state line, she could just show them the picture. And,
And the next time I showed him the picture, and he laughed.
Yeah. I mean, and literally we'd gone 500 feet. And I went, Ropa y Cosas por la Casino. And could I come out with that at the time that the cop was standing there?
Oh, no.
No. Now, no problem. Now I get stopped. I just pull out 8,317 pesos and give it to him. But I mean.
No. La vida es más fácil en Mexico si uno habla español.
Sí.
Es
verdad. But I mean, it's one of those where I look at that and I go, we froze. Well, I froze.
We froze. We froze. You froze at a different level than me.
And so, and then we hit the one going into Aguas Calientes, hit the state line. They stop us, and he asks us something in Spanish, and I'm like, all right, I've been driving for 6 hours now. All I want to do is get our ass into Aguas Calientes and get to our get to the Auto Motels. And so then that's the one where the guy goes, so where are you headed?
Yeah, that was funny.
And it was like, what? And yeah, he was like, where are you going? We're going to Querétaro, but tonight we're going to spend the night in Aguas Calientes. Oh, have a good night.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
There are multiple classes per week to choose from. Small group pronunciation workshops, listening practices, wow, role play practices, and conversation clubs. Lots of ways to practice. Amy, that sounds really cool. And somebody who seems to always like never have time. I hope I can schedule a little bit of each because that is really good. I like this. I like small group pronunciation workshops would be very helpful. Listening is huge. Listening is a huge thing for me because even listening to Pratica or listening to Duolingo, people are really fast sometimes and I miss certain sounds. So that's awesome. Yeah, this is cool. And
What I have found is that the longer we've been here, the longer we're immersed in it. And after taking, Expat Spanish and doing Duolingo now for 5 years, I pick up more words at the beginning, like Duolingo, or we would go to one of our music festivals down here in Mexico, and I'm thinking I'm going to show off what I know. What I'm really showing off is
what I don't know.
How much I don't know. But, they would speak to me and I was like, escucho un poco, and I can, entiendo un poco más, and I can only understand a little less than that. And so, it was one of those where I was like, oh God, now, we can sit with a doctor and I can pick up on 60, 70+% of what's being said.
Yeah.
So, it actually is going a lot better and a lot faster, and part of it is the more you do it.
So this is what I'm really looking forward to seeing the difference now. Things have changed a lot for the better since you guys have taken classes. People are progressing 2 times faster with the new format. That's really cool. That's really cool. So I really would like to see how this works now.
No, you're not like to see. You're going to see.
Well, I am going to see.
Yeah.
I mean, like I did the placement. I set my pace for the slower pace because I just know me and my time restraints. So if I do faster, great. And if I don't, that's fine too. I don't want to pressure myself into failure and end up, missing a class because I've got something I got to do. So I'm excited about this. And I am always wanting to push forward. I still have my gritty Spanish. I still have Practica and everything else that I've got. But I think this helped me the most. So I'm excited to see how it's changed. Yeah, without a doubt.
Without a doubt. I mean, it's not even close. I mean,
true.
I learned a fair amount of vocabulary through Duolingo.
Yeah.
I learned how to structure it all and string together sentences and have a conversation through Expat Spanish.
Yeah, because you don't get the structure. You don't get structure in things like Duolingo. So now I know what the word quedarse means. That's great. Okay. It's nice that I know this word now. Volar. I know what volar is now.
But you got to know when to use them, where to put them, what context, and everything else, and that's what you learn.
Yeah, conjugation and stuff like that. I mean, that's great. Here's the word, but in this class, you learn how to use it, and you learn to use Spanish that you're actually going to use, which is even better, because I don't need to say, see Dick run. Or see Jane run.
Okay.
I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
I don't need to say that. I need to say, how much is this loaf of bread? Basically, things like that.
¿Cuánto cuesta este pan?
I get that, but practical. Like if I go to the pharmacy and I'm looking for a medication and I want this many milligramos and I need it in this, name of medication and how much will this cost and things like that. That's what I need. Well, that's what I think that we needed the most is conversational level
it's
that.
what you're going to say the most.
Exactly.
And that's the key.
Exactly. Getting a taxi or being at the bus station, for goodness sake. If we take Primero Plus and we go to Mexico City, these people in Querétaro aren't speaking English to us. We're on the damn bus, man. The bus driver, the guy who's handling the luggage, the person scanning the tickets, they speak Spanish. You got to learn Spanish.
As they should.
Exactly. And I know what you guys are laughing about. It's because the cops tapped on the window and he had to pull it out.
Well, that could be a lot of different things.
It was the way you said it. Not that we've ever been in that kind of situation before.
Now we've ever had to pull that out.
I sent Living the Mexican Dream in Chapala a message on Facebook and left a comment on their latest video about the event. Okay. Yeah,
there we go.
That's good. And we have recordings too. If you can't make live classes, listening classes are great for that. Yeah. Yeah.
They have the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah. I mean, I used to like when we have the old format. I recall that, and I don't know if you still have these videos, but you used to have, for example, maybe there was a video on YouTube of a song that was being sung in Spanish, and you would use it for a supplementary lesson. And I enjoyed stuff like that.
Well, the good news is that means they're not using the old lessons with Rick and Winston and I. So, because they've gone to a new format. So
those were some messy lessons, man. You guys getting together, that was kind of funny.
That was, and poor Denise was stuck there going, she's
like, I know.
And the problem is the old format, and I don't know if this is still true in the new format yet, was there were these off the wall questions.
Yeah.
I mean, way off the wall. And, and so, what are you afraid of? Or what are your dreams? And do you believe in phantasmas and things like that? And so we would take it to places that Denise was just like, for example, this is not where
what are your dreams? Sometimes I dream of an evening with Winston or something weird like that. No, that would be an example. Like that you three guys are together in this class and you got to talk about what your dreams are. And maybe your dream would have been to spend an evening with Winston, for example. Just kind of off the wall.
Now you're back to whipping it out, but but one of those where
that's not what I meant.
I mean, I know, but I'm sitting there going, baby, that don't quite sound right.
Whip it out.
You're going, okay.
Oh my God. This is going down fast. It's burning.
That's one of those where you just go, okay.
So let's see. We talked about Maxwell a good bit. He's doing better, and he's knocked out right now. He's finally tired. He's doing better with his training. We still have a little bit of tugging on his leash during the walks, but it's not as bad. I have a harness, and I moved his leash to the front, which is supposed to help with that. But what does he do? Sometimes he pulls on it until his harness is like twisted like this on his body.
Like, yeah.
But he's getting better with that. And he can sit, he can shake hands, he can do a high five, he can dance, he can lay down. He needs to work on weight. So I've been making him wait when we go to take the WALK, which, by the way, we can't say that word because he knows what a WALK is. So when we get to the door, he's all super hyped up. And I'm like, you have to wait. We're learning wait. So that's calming him down a little.
Because there are a lot of people who are doing the same thing at about the same time.
Yes.
And so he encounters other perros, and sometimes he's bueno, otra vez no está bien. You know,
Right.
and
you know,
so
sometimes he's fine. You know, he's very reactive with new people and new dogs, especially. So,
and Angelica every week is here, and every week it's the same.
not quite as bad last week.
No,
He was pretty good last week, but this week, forget it. He was out of control with the barking and the extra energy. He's very good with our gardener lately. Brought him back from a chat not that long ago, and we came through one of the side doors that leads into the community yard, and Francisco was cleaning the pool, and Max didn't tug hard, pull, go nuts or anything. He barked a little bit, and Francisco was like, hola Max, ven Max, ven Max. So
well, he's telling him to come. So.
yeah. So that was pretty good. And so we're going to try Club Dog, and we're going to do a few daycare sessions, maybe every other week. We'll see. And that'll at least get him used to the environment, so that whenever we do take trips, like we're taking one in October to go to the US, then we will leave him at this location. And hopefully that will add to his socialization skills. So, I mean, he's going to be around a lot of strange dogs.
I get that.
And strange people. Legalization of our car. I wanted to mention this. We have been doing basically like a chocolate car import. We're not doing
past the due date. I mean, well, it was the program was supposed to be over January 1st.
Well, it depends on the state, obviously. Our friends have one done, and they got plates from San Luis Potosi. We talked about this last time we did a podcast 2 weeks ago. Ours is coming from Chiapas. And the guy that he works with, you know, everything has been, can you send us a new picture of this? Can you take the plates off your car and take the front and the back photo again? Why? I don't know. We have U.S. South Dakota plates. Why do we have to take the plates off the car to take a picture of the car? So we did that. Then they needed the front and the back of the title. Why? I don't totally know. Why do they need the back of the title? Because we already know that the title is going to stay in our name as it is. That's not changing. So there's like weird stuff. Well, came back today and said, we just found out that the laws have changed and you need to have an INE. Do you have an INE?
Or a Mexican passport.
Or a Mexican passport?
Pick one or the other.
No, we do not. We are not citizens. I'm sitting here thinking, we're not citizens. We wouldn't have this. So my question is, I'm curious about why we would need an INE, because if we were to take this car over the border, which we already know was going to cost us more money to do this, it was going to be more expensive to do it this way, taking it back to the border, going through SAT, waiting while they process the import in a hotel for who knows how many days, and then bringing it back. We would not need an INE to do that, but we need one now. So we got a really good friend who agreed to provide their INE. Everything is still going to be in our names, but for whatever reason, they needed an INE, and our friend agreed to provide that.
Thank you.
Very generously agreed to do that.
Yes.
So that's the situation going on with that. It takes some time. I think it was about 3 months.
Yeah, and this is one of those where glad we started early.
Yeah.
Because We had no clue that it was going to be a scenario where it's 3 months. Now
Yeah.
odds are good. We could have driven around and no problem, because quite often our plates expire in January, and sometimes it's been late February before we've gotten
The new plates.
the sticker to put on the new, and no one's ever stopped us for that.
Right.
So it's one of those where you sort of go, well, okay. But we really wanted to get this taken care of and be done with it, and have the car plated here in Mexico, just make it easier on us.
And so that's what's going on with the car. One of my old neighbors had a gorgeous boxer, smart as a whip. She knew that if she backed up, she could back out of her harness and would take off running. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, he can't get out, but he gets all twisted up in it. So I'm hoping for improvements there. I think he's getting better. He is getting better. So.
And Arlene, Winston's a friend of ours. He's been a subscriber from back when Annie first started.
Yeah, he's an old DC cop.
Yeah.
Well,
he's a retired DC cop who then became an investigator for Department of Justice, and so like basically as a when they had a case, if they needed more information, he would be the person to do that. And great guy. We met him, met his wife Terry, met his whole family, and great people.
Yeah,
great people.
He's my mezcal and chapulines
And
buddy.
yeah, we've had many, well, quite a few late night conversations where we've sat there, and I like to think that both Winston and I are two pretty intelligent human beings. And what we have found is that there's a lot that we can come up with answers to for problems in the U.S., but there's only one that we could not come up with an answer to. And I mean, and we sat there and we talked about this till like 3 a.m, trying to figure out, and that was, how do you deal with bail? Because the bail situation in the U.S. is one of those where, it's designed and it's copied off the British system. If you've got money, you're okay. If you're poor, you're screwed.
That's true.
You're screwed.
So the bail is the same for no matter, it's based on the crime.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of unfair.
And it's one of those, and both of us agreed, him being a retired policeman, he's like, there are certain crimes that, I'm sorry, you don't get bail.
True.
I'm sorry, if you're accused of murder and they have enough proof to go to a judge and say, we want them remanded without bail, and show the judge the proof, that the judge should sit there and go, all right, based on the preponderance of the evidence, no.
Okay.
But,
And so Winston is a really good friend.
Yeah.
And he's taken classes with Expat Spanish with Winston in them, and I've had classes with Winston in them. And
Winston got to, I think, about level 4. And because of his work schedule and everything else, he basically was like, oh man, I felt like I have missed so much of this particular level, that he retook 4 and took it with Gina.
Yep.
And I was on to 5 and 6. So
okay, Cindy, you're probably gone already. Buenas noches. Thanks for coming on tonight. And doing life with Jenny. Last put out a video 4 months ago.
Yeah, her majority of her stuff is basically not stuff on YouTube.
Spanish classes, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. She does
Yeah.
a lot of Spanish classes.
And I guess like the last major update I have is what's the status of my garden experiments? Well,
That sounds like a good time.
I think so too. The tomatoes, the Cherokee purple tomatoes, are not doing well now. I had 2 plants. Both plants were doing very well in producing large tomatoes until we had the hailstorm. And that 4 and 5 inches of hail that pretty much scarred up and destroyed most of the plants and any of the tomatoes that were still hanging. So I was able to harvest some of those tomatoes. I only had to throw out a few. If they got hit by hail and the scar did not heal and went bad, the tomato got thrown away, but that only happened with a couple. One of the plants was a sandbox for Maxwell. He dug dirt out of that particular grow bag at least twice, maybe 3 times, to the point that I could see the roots of the tomato plant.
That's before you put the onions in.
Yeah. No, that was after the onions. It was after the onions. And I'd taken the onions out because he was digging up the onions. That's what probably got him into it. I had planted.
Well, first it was just dirt. I mean, it doesn't matter.
And he
with
didn't
him.
care. But then he found out the onions were in it and he was digging up the onions. And of course, he can't have onions because that's toxic to dogs. So I pulled the onions out and then he realized, hey, I can dig in here. And he was digging in the grow bag. And the last time he did that, he exposed quite a bit of the roots. So I covered them up with fresh additives and amendments and some mulch and stuff. Then the hail hit all the plants. That particular plant that I call the Maxwell plant now, it has never recovered since the hailstorm. It has never recovered. And you can look at all the stems and see every spot that hail had hit.
Well, it was the one that was the first in line for the direction that the wind was blowing the hail.
Yeah.
So it caught the brunt of all of that.
It was bad. It has not recovered. It's getting crunchy. A lot of any new growth that it got is not looking right and not really, the leaves that are coming out are not really getting bigger and the other leaves are getting crunchy. So I've decided to germinate about 5 more seeds and see if I can get a small short window of growth out of some new plants, and I'll end up pulling that one out. The other tomato plant, it's kind of It also got a lot of hail damage, but it does have some new shoots on it that are looking okay. But the tomatoes that are on it really aren't getting any bigger. Again, I think there's too much damage, and I don't know. We'll see. Now, how about my ganja girls? All right, the ganja girls. He sat in here the other night and he goes, "What stinks?"
Thought I was at a damn Parliament concert. I mean, I'm sitting here going, I should be looking around and seeing Bootsy and George. I mean,
we've got this cross breeze. We've got 2 glass doors with screens. They're both open, and the breeze is carrying the flower right into the living room here. I can smell it upstairs in the office. I've got one plant that is lighter in scent. It is a sativa dominant. It's lighter in scent. It's kind of got like maybe a little citrusy, minty kind of, I don't know, top note. And then it's got a little more earthiness. But the indica dominant, well, part of the hybrid of this indica dominant was OG Kush. So Kush in the bush. You couldn't get much more skunkier than that. And it
reeks.
aromatic.
It reeks.
You can smell it out in the yard. I know that the neighbors are smelling it. I know Francisco is smelling it. I can smell it upstairs. If the wind hits right, it carries it right into the house here. Now, they are done growing vegetative wise. And what is happening is the big fan leaves, the big fan leaves are starting to yellow, and then they are dying off. So what's happening is flower is growing and it's swelling up into nice thick stems of flower. And the flower is pulling nutrients from those fan leaves. So therefore, the nutrients being pulled away is turning those fan leaves from green to yellow. And once it pulls the nutrients that it needs, I just pinch off the yellow leaves and throw them away. The flower has small little sugar leaves all around them. So they're still photosynthesizing and still growing and developing the trichomes that grow on the flower and on the sugar leaves. So basically, I just go out every day and I bust off some of the yellow leaves and throw them away. The more that I take away, the more airflow it gets, the better it is for it, but it's also carrying all this scent in. And his comment the other day just made me die. That what stinks? So it looks like the indica one, Rainbow Flakes is the name. It's got lots of trichomes on it. That is the little resins that's all over the flowers and the little sugar leaves. And they come out, they start out clear at first, and then they start to get cloudy. And when they're cloudy, that is the peak THC season. When they get amberish, then they're starting to get that CBD, and that is more of that relaxing, couch locky stuff that I'm not so interested in. They're close. Like probably within a week, they're going to get harvested. The sativa's got a way to go. I know the smell is just like getting to him, but the sativa's going to be a while.
I mean, I swear to God, one of the things that I got spoiled by coming here to Mexico was going to a concert
and not smelling it.
Because you don't smell it.
You don't.
I mean, if they see you light up anything,
I mean, you can't even take smokes inside. Any smokes.
Yeah. Out you go. And we've seen that happen. We saw that at the Caifanes concert. Somebody lit up and
in an outdoor venue. It's an outside venue.
I get that. And I've always been like, you people would pitch an ever-loving fit if I lit up a cigar.
Yeah.
But yet you have no problem lighting up your joint so you can enjoy the concert. Well, you know what? I'd enjoy the concert a whole lot more if I had a cigar going while I was listening to it. But I forego it because that's the rules.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
That's his beef. Are you stepping off the pedestal?
I'm getting off the soapbox.
Okay, very good. But I'm going to be making butter anyway because I'm going to be making tasty treats, brownie bites and cookies and Rice Krispie treats.
Oh, good Lord. There's enough out there you can share with friends and everything else, and they'll all be happy.
That's right. Are you going to try your tomatoes again? Yes, I am. And what I did so that Max can't get to the grow bags is we bought chicken wire. We went to Home Depot and bought chicken wire, and I have a chicken wire fence all the way around them. He can't get in them, but the damage is done. They just never really recovered, and then the hail just.
It was a twofold event.
Yes.
He he weakened them. The hail killed it. I mean, it was one of those
The hail put the final nail in.
Yeah, if it hadn't been for the hail, we probably would have been okay. But that was one of those where, okay, he started the damage, and the hail went. Yeah, let's just go ahead and finish this off.
Yeah, and Arlene, I was getting some really nice big fat tomatoes, but I ate every tomato I harvested. We had sandwiches the one night. And I made that sandwich bread a little different than a regular sourdough, and it was good.
Yeah,
it was very good. So so that the bread would not mold, because homemade bread is not nuclear bread. It will mold. So I finished off this past week every tomato we had that was ripe. I sliced them up, and I had tomato sandwiches all week long, and they were awesome. But I am going to try to get 5 more going. The evenings have been dropping in the mid to high 50s Fahrenheit.
Starting to even get lower than that.
I know.
I mean,
so we really, there's not a lot of growing window left. I'm going to try. It's not going to hurt to try. So we'll see.
You got enough seeds.
I got plenty of seeds. I harvested and I saved up some seeds. So we'll see what happens. And our dogs love broccoli, and they always dug up our plants too. Yeah.
And this one's so goofy. He hates the sound of when you make the raspberry sound. It drives him nuts.
He loves that.
Yeah, there he goes. He's looking.
He's
up.
like, what?
and if you happen to have gas, which I'm sorry, all of us get it, and it makes him go berserk. If we're in bed, and all of a sudden he hears gas getting passed, it's like, the other day he attacked me under the covers. He was on top of the covers, but he has pounced and started digging. Like, I've got to know where that sound came from. And it's like,
funny.
Dude,
he's funny. Yeah, it's okay. He farted and made a noise too, and I didn't even think that was possible. I didn't think dogs had the right skin to make make the noise.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Alfida saying Tommy boy. It was nice seeing you tonight. And you might be able to start a new strain of smoke. Probably not, Terry, simply because I ordered these from Positronics, and they are guaranteed to grow feminized. They're all female. So they're not pollinating, and I'm not hybridizing. Positronics sells their own hybridized strains.
For research purposes only.
Exactly. So I wouldn't be. I'm not going to try to come up with my own. No. And I've got plenty of seeds to last a while. Sorry, honey. I have one hybrid in there that's got purple haze in it. That might be the next one we do. I think it's called American Purple.
Well, you got a mouse in your pocket on the wee part, because I got nothing to do with any of this.
We'll see. I don't know. I know, Andy, this is hilarious. Mark does not have a good sense of smell.
Nope.
He does not.
Nope.
When I ask him to smell things, he looks at me like I've got 3 heads. We can drive through North Carolina on a highway past the turkey farms, and he does not smell them, and I'm like gagging. He smelled this. That stinks. What stinks? Wait till I'm in here cooking that butter. And with that, I think we're going to sign off, because we are approaching 4 hours again.
I'm just going to put flashlight on and tear the roof off the sucker. And
You've got a real
yeah.
type of thing going down, get down.
I mean, yeah. There's a whole lot of rhythm going round. So.
Oh, we want the funk.
Ow. Yeah. And yes, when I was in junior high, way before she was hearing all of this, it was like, yeah, that was, it was an interesting dichotomy in junior high school. You had silly love songs that was making the top 40 or Parliament. And in my junior high school, there was about 50-50. It was like, give me Bootsy and George every time, because silly love songs was love me some McCartney, but that was not a good song.
I love you.
I do. I love you too. But that was like, oh God.
I can't explain.
And of all things, that was actually some of Paul McCartney's best work on the bass.
It's great.
On that particular song. It was some of his best work. So.
I just want to say, I'm skipping through real quick, and I just want to say thank you guys. Thanks for being on, because we are wrapping it up. As Mark describes his junior high music adventures. And yes, we do need to do some more karaoke. And Dr. Funkenstein, we love you, Dr. Funkenstein. Your funk is the best.
Yeah.
I used to ride around playing P-Funk, and Lexi loved it.
Oh,
she loved P-Funk.
Please do not attempt to adjust your radio. You are listening to WPFUNK, better known as We Funk.
P-Funk, Chocolate City. I love my greatest hits of Funkadelic and Parliament.
I mean,
always a great conversation. Yes, Amy. Buenas noches. I'm going to try to say this word. Descansen. Did I say it right? Que descansen.
Que descansen.
All right, I said it right. Awesome. Sly and Family Stone too. Oh, my favorite Sly and Family Stone, honestly, is If You Want Me to Stay. That is my favorite song by him. And I love that song so much. Good night. Good night. Good night, my friends. Our friends.
Yes.
Your friends. Everybody's friends.
Todos.
Adios. And we'll see you again in 2 weeks. And I do have a video half done that may hit the thing this Friday or Saturday.
Boy.
I'm actually selecting the music for it right now. So what?
Maybe next weekend.
What?
We'll see how everything goes tomorrow with the.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Bye, guys. See you in 2.